This has been a presentation of the Yes Network. Soaring into history. Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.
It's an absolutely gorgeous Tuesday evening here in New York City, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the first game of a two-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and Cameron Maybin. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees and the Blue Jays could be a battle for the top of the American League East. So far, they've played 7 times, and the Yankees have won 4 of those games. They don't meet again until June in Toronto. So these two games might tell a little bit of a story. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this one. Yusei Kikuchi is going to go for the Blue Jays in 5 starts. 4.35 ERA, too many walks, that jumps out at you. And Luis Severino, this will be his 6th start. The Yankees are 5-0 in his 5 starts. He's 2-0 with a 3.75. All numbers are good there for Luis Severino. Paul, why don't we start with Kikuchi?
Yusei Kikuchi, they brought him in to be a big part of this pitching staff, and the powder blue in Toronto. He pitched very well against the Yankees on Wednesday and got a win, probably his best outing of the year. Pitches off his fastball, but a really, really good changeup.
All right, so Cam, let's have the 4-1-1 on Severino.
Yeah, Luis Severino coming off 8 days of rest, gave the Yankees a chance to win in Kansas City, but facing a team who's had some success against in the prior past. Last outing against Toronto Blue Jays, 5 innings, 6 Ks, and he's going to bring that energy. Excited to see Louis back on the mound tonight.
All right, take a look at the Yankee pitching. Outstanding. 2.68 runs allowed per game. Only the Dodgers are better. 75 runs allowed in the first 28 games. In Yankee history, only the 1958 Yankees did better. And look at the relievers for the Yankees. They've been outstanding. These numbers, both the best in Major League Baseball, 2.31 ERA and 0.41 home runs allowed per 9 innings. All in all, the arms race, the Yankees are winning it for sure, and that's why they have the best record in baseball. Yankees and the Blue Jays, it's a little bit of a rivalry. I don't think these guys like each other all that much. When we get back, Meredith Marakovits explains when we get back on Yes.
Baseball on Yes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovits. The Yankees have been rolling as of late. They are winners of 6 straight series, 8-2 over their last 10, and they are 20-8 overall this season. Tonight, they will face the Blue Jays for the 3rd time in this young season. Aaron Boone spoke about the familiar opponent earlier today.
When it comes to the Blue Jays, I look at them as one of the best teams that we play. Obviously present a lot of challenges from a lineup standpoint. You know, they have a lot of guys that can really hurt you in some different ways. You know, they're athletic. They push the envelope on the bases a little bit. And then have put together a really strong starting rotation. Feel like their bullpen's gotten a little bit better. So, I mean, I look at them as, you know, a really good team that's going to be really competitive in this division.
And the Yankees are 4-3 against the Blue Jays so far this season. There are a couple notes when it comes to the lineup. Joey Gallo has the evening off, so you're going to see Aaron Hicks in left field, Aaron Judge in center field, and Giancarlo Stanton in right. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by Paul O'Neill and Cameron Maybin. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Some things just go together, like Saturday morning.
Throws a strike. Not too bad. It's nerve-wracking on that mound. Everybody you talk to says a lot farther than you think when you get up there. So Eric Adams nails that first pitch, and we're going to talk to him in the second inning, which should be fun as well. And we're getting closer to baseball here in the Bronx. The Yankees have taken the field, and we'll take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup brought to you by TikTok. It starts on TikTok. Center fielder is George Springer. He'll lead off. Batting second, the shortstop, Bo Bichette. Vlad Guerrero Jr. He's at first base, hitting third. Remember, when the Yankees saw the Blue Jays in Toronto, he was slumping. Now he has a 7-game hitting streak. Pastor Hernandez was out for 22 games. He's back now. Right fielder will clean up. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in left. Alejandro Kirk at DH. Matt Chapman at third. Santiago Espinal at second. Batting ninth and catching, it's Tyler. Springer's ready. Severino's ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is high, and we are underway. Blue Jays are 17-13. The Yankees have the best record in baseball. They are 20-8. Fouled away, 1-1. Yankees starting rotation has been great. Their ERA is 2.65, third best in the major leagues, behind the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. You might raise your eyebrows at the Diamondbacks, but remember, Brent Strom, who did such a great job with the Astros, is now the pitching coach of the Diamondbacks. He's tapped into something, and they've done a really good job there. 1-2. Just missed. 2-2. Lance Barrett is the home plate umpire. Alfonso Marquez at first. Shane Libensparger is the second base ump, and Ramon De Jesus is at third. Missed the outside corner. 3-2 on Springer. Now this umpiring crew finished the 3-game set with the Rangers, and they stayed in town to do these 2 games. Grounded, foul.
You look on the umpires, and it's got to be a good thing when you come in and you get 5 days, 6 days without having to travel, especially with the short series and a day game tomorrow. Probably loving life to come into New York for 5 or 6 days.
High fly ball, deep left field, going back. Hicks turning, looking, 1-0 Blue Jays. 47th leadoff home run in his career.
Well, Michael, when we did last series, you remember he had some stuff going on with the fans, and he is such a huge part of this offense.
He really is a big part of this offense, and right, as you see right there, he loves leading the game off. Spoke about playing here and how he feels like the fans, tend to bring out the best in him. He knows he's going to hear it throughout the game, and you see him trying to put himself in a good situation to start the game.
Pitch to Bichette is outside. 1-0.
You see that little slider just kind of up in the strike zone and doesn't do much other than end up in the seats.
And there he is, motioning with his hand for the crowd to be quiet. Now, they get on Springer not just because he's a Blue Jay, but because he was a member of that 2017 Astros team. That one is rip foul. Now, we talked about the 8 days off for Severino. Sometimes that's a good thing. Cameron, sometimes it's a bad thing because you lose command a little bit.
Just like we spoke about it earlier about the offense struggling a little bit. When you have a lot of days off, as a player, we don't like it. We love when we're feeling good, staying in form, staying in our routine, and sometimes days off can actually be a detriment more than an attribute.
3-1. 3-2. Take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. Hicks, Judge, and Stanton. Left to right in the outfield. Judge, according to Boone, says he's a center fielder. Infield, LeMahieu, Canafalefa, Torres, and Rizzo. Third to first. Higashioka behind the plate, catching Severino. Higashioka has not played in the previous 2 games. So he's back behind the plate.
Yeah, good to see Kyle back there, and it was interesting to hear Trevino talk about how much Kyle helped him yesterday in Nestor's outing, going 7 innings, never had catching Nestor, talking about how Higgy wrote the game plan up for him, was throughout the game staying connected with him, kind of allowing him to know what Nestor likes to do, and you love that camaraderie between 2 catchers.
Let's check out the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
And as I spoke about it, run support will be a big part of this game. Only 6 runs in the last 4 games for this Yankees lineup, who was swinging really good bats. And then a quick trip, 2 games in the next 24 hours, trying to finish up this homestand on the high note, and then win or split mentality. Facing the team that you faced quite a bit already early in the season, the Yankees have done a good job with a 4-3 record. So winning or splitting has to be the mentality.
There's a strike to Guerrero. Seven-game hitting streak. He's hitting .320. He's always been trouble for the Yankees since the beginning of 2020. He has 10 home runs against them.
Yeah, Bo Bichette will run. Important for Sevy to either slide step or make sure that he makes him stop at first base, not give him a running jump.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Well, that's a good slider right there, and you're going to see 2 type of breaking balls from Sevy. Now he's throwing a lot of cutters, and then you see that larger break with the slider. It'll go much more against right-handed hitters.
1-2 against Guerrero.
Tonight will be one of those nights where, against these right-handed batters in this Blue Jays lineup, Sevy will definitely need his cutter to keep them honest with his fastball on their outer half.
Swing and a miss. Guerrero down on strikes. One away.
Well, you kind of hold your breath every time he steps to the plate in Yankee Stadium. We remember they shut him down for a couple games last time in, and then he went on and hit 3 home runs in a game. But a really good fastball by Sevy right there, outside part of the plate at 97.
And Paul, that pitch right there, I think you can speak on that. You just talked about those 2 different breaking balls that Sevy will show. You see the slider that Vladimir was able to lay off, but that's 97. He's able to sneak that by him because he does have that cutter that has no spin that you do have to honor. So that pitch, those 2 breaking balls, do you not think those will be really important against these right-handed hitters today?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the cutter is what has really, I think Blake has really stepped in and allowed these pitchers to learn this cut fastball. Again, it's about the larger break. That's the slider. You know, a little more horizontal break than you get with the cutter, but much easier to pick up from a hitter as far as spin point.
So 0-2 on Hernandez. When the Blue Jays were in town with a 4-game set here in the Bronx in April, he got hurt, left oblique strain. He missed 22 games, and it's affected the Blue Jays offense, the protection behind Guerrero as well. But he came back on May 6th, still trying to find his way. He's an important part of this team. So he did not play in the series in Toronto where the Yankees took 2 out of 3, and it's just a different lineup without him.
It really is. The hitter that he's turned himself into has been quite impressive. I had an opportunity to play with Teoscar in 2014 and La Romana playing some Dominican winter ball, and to see the kind of player, the kind of hitter that he's progressed and turned into, he is a huge part of their lineup. But that oblique is something that they're going to have to watch throughout the year.
Swing and a miss, couldn't hold up, but the slider gets him 2 away.
Well, all of a sudden that slider is starting to run off the plate, and you know this is a big thing for Sevy after the leadoff home run and then a base hit by Bichette. You get 2 back-to-back strikeouts. You have an opportunity to leave this mound feeling good about yourself. You get this last out.
Here's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Hitless in his last 15 at bats. See his numbers: 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Inside, 1-0. Just underway here at the stadium. A Springer leadoff home run has given the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead. Runner on first base, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 1-1. There's a little bit of a wind blowing in toward home plate. We saw a lot of that in the Texas series. Doesn't seem to be as strong a wind that we saw on Sunday, but this is blowing straight in toward home plate. Been a beautiful day here in New York. Finally feels like spring. In fact, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. 65, no chance of rain, humidity 25%, and the wind is out of the east-northeast at 12 miles per hour. That has got to be one of the most impressive on-field chains I've ever seen on a player. That's not just gold that he's wearing. Those are diamonds sparkling there on Severino.
Yeah, he's in a different pay bracket, so he's able to afford those.
Wow.
Those nice jewels. But you know they call it ice, so that'll keep his blood temperature down, make you pitch better.
Really, the only ice I have keeps my drinks cold.
You know, Michael, some organizations have that one chain rule. Well, Sevy was going to throw it all together in one. You know, you get a little gold, little diamond, you just put it all together in one, and you get away with it, right?
That is impressive.
You make that one chain as sexy as possible.
3-2, runner goes. Did he go? Did he go? Yes, he did. 3 straight strikeouts for Severino. For the Blue Jays, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. Blue Jays 1 and the New York Yankees coming to bat.
Hi, it's Dr. Easterling.
Severino bounces back from 2 straight hits to strike out the next 3. Take a look at the Yankees starting lineup brought to you by TikTok. It starts on TikTok. It starts with DJ LeMahieu at third, Aaron Judge in center, Anthony Rizzo at first. Middle third of the order, Stanton's in right, Donaldson the DH, Hicks is in left. And the bottom third of the order is Torres at second, Conniff left at the shortstop, and Kyle Higashioka will catch and bat ninth. A lefty, a switch hitter, and a righty on the bench for the Yanks. And they'll face Yusei Kikuchi. This is his 5th start, 1-1, 4.35. Way too many walks for his likings and the Blue Jays' liking. Let's take a look at the scouting report on the Blue Jays left-hander.
Well, you again. He's made 5 starts. This will be the 3rd start against the Yankees already. They've only played 30 games. This is his 3rd start against the Yankees this season, and much better. His last outing against the Yankees, his best of the year. 3 hits, 1 run, and a win on Wednesday in Toronto. And trying to get back. I mean, he made the All-Star team in Seattle last year with a really good first half, pitched to an ERA of 3.4. Well, the second half, a little bit different, closer to 6, 5.98, and then still trying to get back to that form he had first half of the year last year.
Paul, he took advantage of New York yesterday. You know what he did during the off day? He walked around Central Park. That's where he got his workout.
And how did you know this, Michael?
I've got spies all over.
I got you.
Here's DJ LeMahieu. And there's a strike.
It's a part of that, you know, just keeping yourself moving on off days.
Yeah.
I used to hate sitting around in the hotel on an off day. You used to want to get up, get your body going, get the blood flowing, and make sure you're ready for the next day.
We're so different. I don't even open the curtains in the hotel room.
No blood flow whatsoever.
Michael, that's the only time you ever get rest. You got 18 shows on and a baseball game in between. It's just like, when in the world do you have time to do anything?
And a 7 and a 9-year-old. Yeah, it's the time I can sleep.
Yeah.
1-2 on LeMahieu. LeMahieu really punishes left-handed pitching. 12 for 29. That's 414. Two and two. Kikuchi signed a 3-year, $36 million deal with the Blue Jays March 14th. And the Blue Jays had to add some pitching after losing the Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray to free agency. Checked his swing, just missed the inside corner, 3-2.
And you can see DJ a little bit tied up on that fastball in the 1.5, and it's because he has such a good changeup that you have to honor. So we'll see how much he uses that changeup today off of that heater. Matter of fact, this season, 1 for 14, 7 Ks against that changeup this season for Yusei Kikuchi.
Three-two. Swing and a miss. LeMahieu strikes out. Let's check out The Blue Jays defense brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. Good outfield. Lourdes Gurriel in left. George Springer in center. Teoscar Hernandez over in right. In the infield, two-time Platinum Glove winner Matt Chapman at third. Then you have Bichette at short. He can boot a ball every now and then. Santiago Espinal at second. Vladimir Guerrero at first. Tyler Heineman behind the plate. He catches Yusei Kikuchi. Now Charlie Montoya wants to talk with Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief at first base.
Last time in, he did this a couple times, and I tell you what, if you're Aaron Boone, it's got to kind of annoy you that the other managers is doing stuff between the innings, asking questions. I mean, you've got a pitcher. If you look at Kikuchi, you got a pitcher out there with a fluorescent glove. I mean, if you're Aaron Boone and you want to start talking about things you can talk about in between innings, I mean, enough's enough.
Hard to figure what he was speaking about because he had a smile on his face and they don't seem to have changed anything. Here's Judge. Three infielders on the left side. High fly ball, center field. Going back Springer, now toward right center. Wynn took that. 2 away. Now Marquez is telling him about going to his lips. He's allowed to do. It's kind of a chilly day. Not chilly, but certainly windy, and tell him he has to step off.
Well, you have to wipe there, and he's making him wipe it off. You can get a grip, but, you still have to wipe it off. And go back a long time ago where you load it up a little bit and throw that spitball, so they want them wiping that off.
Now, the Blue Jays, who go with a four-man outfield more than any team in baseball, I mean by a lot. They've done it 75 times. They usually do it against Rizzo. Not this time. They have three infielders on the right side, but the standard three outfielders. And if you want to compare how much they do it, the next highest amount would be Tampa Bay. They've done it 23 times, and third is the Yankees. They've done it 19, but the Blue Jays 75 times. They've never been a real big shift team. Last year they weren't, but they've really come around this season. Two and one.
Guess they're trying to get it all in now before the rules change for next season.
A little late to the party, though. A lot of teams have been shifting for many years, but not the Blue Jays. Not to this extent. Now, Lance Barrett is the home plate umpire. Let's take a scouting report on him. He's pitcher-friendly, Paul. Pitcher-friendly.
Imagine that.
More high strikes, more low strikes. 13th Major League season for Lance.
I'm getting to the point. I haven't seen a hitter-friendly umpire this season.
We went over that. It's Randy Marsh. He lives in Kentucky.
You're right. We got to get.
He's out of the game.
We got to get Randy Marsh back on the field.
Stands on deck. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Blue Jays on the George Springer home run. Three-two. And Rizzo works a walk against Kikuchi. So here's Stanton. He has 11 ribbies in his last 12 games, hitting .311 over that time.
Michael, I got a text yesterday, and somebody was asking, because we were going over, some of the low strikes called as strike one, and a lot of people were concerned, like, does it make that big of a difference? Well, it certainly does, and I did a little research. James sent it to me. 0-1 on-base percentage is 26%. 1-0 is 37.3%. So, I mean, it makes a huge difference by, you know, that strike one or ball one.
And, Paul, you knew that without even having to look at the numbers from just being in the box. You know how much of a difference that makes. Let's be honest. I spoke to AJ about that earlier today. It affects you. It gets in your subconscious.
Chop toward Espinal. And that'll do it here in the first. Yankees strand one. We played one at the stadium. 1-0 Toronto. The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, and you know what? He threw a strike, and he threw it from the rubber. And the mayor is nice enough to take some time out and join us in the booth. Were you nervous at all?
Well, that was my off-speed pitch. And I'm going to ice down my shoulder a little later today. I'm going to ice it down. But, you know, I felt good. It's just great to be back in the park and just enjoy the game.
You know, I was thinking about this. You have one of the coolest jobs in the world. I mean, it's a hard job, but to be the mayor of New York City, what's that mean to you?
It means a lot, and you know, it's just so important for young people, particularly that hit bends in the road. You know, growing up dyslexic, not realizing that I could comprehend things. You know, had some difficult childhoods. Becoming a police officer, watching the city decline and then return. And so this is a great opportunity for people to realize that the resiliency of this city, and I'm excited about it.
1-1 to Kirk. That one is lined to right field. And out of play. Now, I gotta be honest, so the mayor sits down, and automatically he notices the Louboutins that Cameron Maybin is wearing. I mean, you have an eye for fashion. I mean, those red bottoms.
I wanted to ask him about that.
I you know, these, and I'm just loving them. You know,
I appreciate it. I'm gonna pull them back so the fans can see them. Check them. Yeah, you know.
Those are mine on the right.
And I wanted to ask him about that. He's a man who has an energy about passion and about leading, but you also have a passion about your wardrobe. You're a little bit subdued today, which I'm not disappointed, but, you know, I wanted to hear about, you know, where do you get your fashion style from? You know, always sporting a big smile, but I also got some clean stuff on to go along with it. What inspired you to have that type of fashion?
Well, you know, and you know it, just by moving around. When you dress right, you feel tight, and you feel like you're going to present. And it's just a level of confidence. When you took time to look right, people are going to listen to you. Before you eat a meal, you look at a meal. And before people hear what you have to say, they want to know, oh, man, how do you miss it? Let me get on shortstop. On second.
You know, Gleyber Torres' job, too.
No, but it's all about the confidence. And that's what young people, we want to inspire young people. Before you leave the house, how do you look? Because people are going to judge you rightfully or wrongfully how you look.
First impression goes a long way.
It does.
Absolutely.
Now, what was it like at the Met Gala? We just showed a picture of what you wore there. That's pretty heavy-duty style.
Yeah, and it was fashion but a statement. You know, I wanted to show my just honor to those New Yorkers who were shot on the subway system. That's why we had the N and the R train, and gun violence on the back. You want to use the platform to say something, not only to go out and just dress, but to say our clothing should be a statement. That's what that was all about. We're losing far too many people, over proliferation of guns in our country. And here in the Bronx, where this beautiful stadium is located, we want this to be a safe place where families can come out.
All right, so that's some heavy lifting. How do you accomplish this, Mr. Mayor?
Well, it's a couple of things. Number one, we have to stop the flow of guns in the big cities across America, particularly New York, and then support our law enforcement officers. You know, we took 2,500 guns off the street in this city since I've been mayor. That's unbelievable when you think about it. And it's a small number of people who believe they're going to carry out violence in our city. We need to zero in on them, make sure that they are not allowed to stay on our streets. And that's what the police department is doing. We're going to need help from the federal government. We're going to need help from others, but we're not going to surrender our city to violence.
Do you feel confident?
Yes, we do. 30,000 plus men and women who wear that blue uniform that I wore, but also the crisis management teams. And then we're going to put in place what I like to say is prevention. Do you know that almost 30 to 40% of our children in prison are dyslexic? So why wait until they're dyslexic? We're going to screen all of our children for dyslexia so that we can give them the services they need, so we don't wait until they are incarcerated. And then helping foster care children, have a workforce development plan. We're going to have 100,000 jobs for summer youth employment this year. Has been done before in history. So we want to prevent crime and then deal with those who are carrying out crime. I'm really confident that we're going to turn around the violence that we're seeing in our city and hopefully across this entire country.
3-2 count on Matt Chapman, runner on first base, nobody out, and that one's fouled back. Now, has your agenda changed from when you were running for mayor and then now once you got in office, well, these are more things that I have to deal with, or is it still the same?
That's a great question. Well, first, when you get to the job, you have a full view of the field. And I was always saying that public safety is the prerequisite to prosperity. We have to be safe in our city, on our subway system. That's crucial. So that was my number one focus, to get the city safe. Then when you get here and you realize that you need to put a lot of energy in our agencies to make sure that they are functioning to deliver the services that New Yorkers deserve. So you have to pick a team. You know, I have to pick my first baseman, my second baseman, my third baseman. If you don't have the right team, I don't care what your vision is, you need the team, and I did that. I put together a solid team, and now we're going in and dealing with some of those historical inequalities that really, the inequalities are leading to the inefficiencies and leading to the dysfunctionality that our city has experienced.
Now, how far has our city come from the COVID shutdown? Do you think we're on the rebound?
Real issues. These variants, they come in like the Blue Jays, man. They just don't stop. You know what I'm saying? You know, so some real issues when you think about the next variant that is popping its head up. But look, we have to learn to live with COVID. Mm-hmm. COVID is going to be here a while. We are not closing down our city again. We have the right tools now. We have a vaccine. We have the antivirals. We have those things that could help us. And then we want to encourage people to take the vaccine and take the booster shots. When I got COVID, I just had a tickle in my throat. I was still able to exercise. I was still able to go out. And so we're really hoping that we continue to do the smart things so we could continue to enjoy our lives in this great city.
First and second, nobody out here in the second inning. A 2-0 count on Espinal as Higashioka went out to talk with Severino. Seemed like he had a problem with the device in the hat in the pitch comm. So Santiago has a 2-0 count, and here's a pitch. There's a strike. Now, when you were a police officer...
I think that was my pitch, and I'm almost sure I got up to about 96, 97.
You had better velocity.
Okay,
the key is throwing strikes, though, Mr. Mayor. Throwing strikes, that's it. Those strikes should give yourself a chance.
And it was a different time when we were a police officer during the 80s, mid-80s. Crack was everywhere.
Fly ball deep left field. Going back Hicks. He's on the track. He's at the wall. And it's off the top of the wall and into the field of play. 1 run scores. Here comes Chapman. He'll score. And now they say it's a home run as Espinal will cruise around the bases with a 3-run shot. And Toronto leads 4-0.
Did it hit the top of the wall? I thought it hit the top.
I thought so too.
That was
Came back.
a good try by Aaron Hicks trying to time that ball. He got back there, timed it well, but just a little bit too high for him to reach up. Actually, off his glove, and I don't think it was a home run.
That's not a home run. They have to challenge that. That one off the top of the wall.
Good effort.
He almost had it.
Yeah, that was a good effort by Aaron Hicks, finding the wall, getting back there, and just off the.
This will be a crew chief review of the call of home run.
That is definitely not a home run. They will overturn that. So the play is under review. You can see it hits the side of the glove and then the top of the wall and bounds back onto the field of play.
He did an amazing job. He was close to picking it off.
And again, that's Aaron Hicks in left field playing somewhat out of position, a new position for him this year that he's learning. But again, as an outfielder, doing a good job of finding the wall, getting to the spot, just not able to make the catch. But a valiant effort by Aaron Hicks.
Well, he's going to have to take that jacket off because that's not going to be a home run.
It's a great job by the camera guys catching that.
And the timing is everything. You know, his timing was really close to making it happen.
Yeah, the team is looking at the big scoreboard in center field, and you could clearly see it was off the top of the wall. So,
yeah, great visual. Matt and Keith, our camera guys, zooming in on that, picking that up. Aaron Hicks not able to make that catch.
Give credit to the fans. They gave way. They didn't reach over and touch the ball.
After review, the call is overturned. The ball is in play. Right. 2 runs will score, and a runner will remain at second base.
You called it.
Well, he takes that jacket off now.
Premature celebration.
Yeah,
that's what my opponents did when they were running against me.
It happens, right? Count all those eggs a little too quick in that basket.
Now, when you were on the force,
yes,
did you think this big? Did you say one day I want to run this city, or did it just happen organically?
It was probably in the early 90s when we turned around crime. I was a computer programmer and a police officer, and we were part of the first version of using technology. And I realized that we could do this with every city in the city. So I started a journal, and every night before going to bed, I made an entry in the journal, my observations. And, you know, I stated I wanted to be mayor one day, and, you know, now I'm sitting here.
And a first pitch strike, too. Don't forget that.
That's right.
And that's not easy to do. I mean, we've seen some good athletes, some non-athletes make that look very difficult, and you're able to throw a strike, so that's good stuff.
And I'll be ready in 3 days. I'm going to ice up my arm, and I'm just going to get back out there.
Hey, well, you got to, you know, this is a good bullpen we might have to stick you in. So
push bunt. Fielded there by LeMahieu, fires to first, 1 away, and moving to third is Espinal. So they'll score that a sac bunt for Heineman.
And these guys have put together a good team this year.
They really have.
We won a Subway Series.
I call them the baby Jays, but I mean the Yankees have put together a really good team, and you know a lot of things that they don't have is there's no stat for character. And one thing, speaking to the guys today in the locker room, they talk about the character that's in the clubhouse. You know, that guys enjoy showing up every day and playing with each other, but it's good you see that as well.
Yeah, no. And, you know, it's all about team energy. You know, the people don't realize how much that the energy and the chemistry matters. And when we built our team at City Hall, I say, listen, I don't want you to be academically smart. You need to be emotionally intelligent. How do you identify your emotions and the emotions of others? And we do everything from breathing exercises to meditation, you know, because this is a stressful job as, you know, playing this game.
Absolutely. Mental health is very important.
It's the challenge we have right now across the country. The number of young people who are attempting suicide, people are just really in a state of despair after COVID. And so it is about mental health and being aware of those who are going through some form of mental health illness to give them the support they deserve.
Yankees have the infield in. 0-2 count on George Springer. He hit a home run leading off the game. Runner at third base. 3-0 Blue Jays. And the Yankee bullpen is already busy. Ron Marinaccio. As Springer goes down on strikes for the second out.
And the fans are coming back. It's great to see the fans coming back in the park and enjoying the game. You know, it's more than just a game on the field. When you sit here with, your friends, your family, it develops long-term relationships, right in these seats. Some great instructions and support is shown, from here in the stadium. That's why this is an institution and with baseball. Look at that picture there. That young man.
It's a beautiful sight.
It really is. Look. That goes a long way. You know how long that young man will remember being
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely. The interactions with the fans, these players.
Yes.
I mean, that's what a family building is about.
Yes, no, so true. And baseball plays a major role throughout the generations of building those relationships between the fans, the players, and families. We used to sit here with my brothers and sisters. We were up in the cheap seats now. We used to bring this greasy bag with all the chicken. We'd have to sneak in. But it was a great experience of just, bonding as a family. Yeah, see, we were up there.
Yeah, those are your seats, right?
That's my seat.
That's where you can bring the hot dogs with the foil in and grandma's purse. I remember those days.
So there could be a future mayor there. You could dream big.
That's right. But just think about it. From sitting in those seats to sitting in the broadcast booth. Only in America.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Only in America.
And who knows what seed that planted for you?
Without a doubt. Only in America. Listen, this is the only country where dream is attached to our name. There's not a German dream. There's not a French dream. There's not a Polish dream. It's just an American dream. And that dream came to reality just by sitting in those seats.
3-2. Now, I've got to ask you this on a lighter note.
Yes.
Being mayor.
Yes.
You can go anywhere you want. I mean, I could go to some restaurants and they turn me away. Michael, no. You never get turned away now. I mean, you get the best seats in a restaurant. That must be cool.
Well, it depends on what mayor you're talking about. And I enjoy the evening of this city. We got to hang out one day, but you got to dress down, man. You can't
No. First off, I need your number, and you're gonna send me your tailor's info. Because I need a new tailor now. If we go out anywhere, I'm gonna have to be ready.
You can't be showing me.
In fact, send me a picture before we leave, like the ladies do. What are you wearing tonight? So I'm ready and prepared.
But we have an amazing nightlife in this city. And I like to say. I'm a nightlife mayor, so I have to test the product.
Hey, man. Well, then count me in, all right? Next trip. Me and Mike will be able to get in if we go with you. We're good.
Mike got to wear this. You got to give him a pair of the same
I told you, I'm going to hook him up before the year's out.
The next time you come up here, I promise, I'll be much tighter. I really am. I'm embarrassed now. I just wore a sport coat. I'm going to be much tighter, I promise. You can take me along. I won't embarrass you.
Dress right, you feel tight is what the man said. And I love it. I love it.
Oh, man.
Right.
And the coach, his energy is just amazing. He brings that chemistry in the dugout and in the locker room. Great pick.
Yeah, he's definitely a man that players enjoy playing for because they know every day they show up, he's definitely got their back.
Right.
He's that guy. He's a player's manager for sure.
So Matt Blake, the pitching coach, comes out, and you also saw a shot there, Cam. He waved Aaron Boone back. He said, no, don't come out. I want to stay in the game.
And I like that. This guy's finally healthy. A couple rough outings, last few starts, but he's coming off 8 days of rest, so I know physically he feels good, and he wants to give his team some length in this short series that they have against the Blue Jays. So you love seeing that from your competitors, but you still have to do what's best for the team in these situations. I love that competing.
Right. You're right.
61 pitches in the second inning. That's a little bit of a concern. That's why they have Marinaccio warming up. Now, I know the mayor of New York lives in Gracie Mansion. That doesn't seem cool enough for you.
No, it's not. That's me. That's me. And I don't care what anyone says. They're ghosting there, man.
We just had a conversation about ghosts yesterday. Man. I've been in some haunted buildings in my life. Not interested in revisiting those. So.
Yeah.
Now you see stuff moving there, or
all the
just
time,
feel it?
man.
Yeah?
All the time. You know.
Hear footsteps and all types of stuff.
Listen, they creeping around.
2-0 on Guerrero. First and third, 2 men out, 2 runs in. It's 3-0 Toronto. Top of the second inning. First game of a 2-game set between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Talking with the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, who threw a strike for the first pitch of this game.
So 61 pitches, that's a high number.
That's a lot for 2 innings, yeah. They want to probably, for the game, keep him around 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, still a lot.
So there's a strike. Threw a change up there, 2-1. So 37 strikes, 27 balls to add up to the 64 he's thrown. Guerrero struck out in the first inning. Tapper to second base. And that will do it. Mayor Adams, what a pleasure talking with you.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
You guys,
Blast. Appreciate you. Can't wait to go out and hit
I'm
the
going to
town.
have a much better suit next time. I'm going too. Don't leave me out. Mayor Adams, we'll be back. Bottom of the second coming up. Luis Severino goes down the tunnel just to recharge as the Yankees are down 3-0. Could have been worse. He did pitch out or further trouble. Now Aaron Boone will have a talk with his pitcher as well. We told you the pitch count kind of high after 2 innings, so it is 3-0. Blue Jays over the Yankees, bottom of the second inning. Josh Donaldson will start it off. So Kikuchi has a little bit of a lead to work with. Paul, I got to tell you something that I just experienced. You're going to be blown away. I almost got a look into the past when Cameron was in the clubs. He just scored the mayor's private digits. The man gave him his private number. The mayor of New York City.
Texting him right now, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what happens.
My number.
Man.
In case me and Paul need to go hit one of these good restaurants up, we can get in quick.
You know what? Somebody gave him a heads up because he dressed the part. He had his shoes on. He was dressed to kill when the mayor showed up. I mean, come on. There's no way.
Yeah, I didn't get a number.
I did my research.
Unbelievable. 2-1 on Donaldson. Donaldson has a 10-game hitting streak, but just 10 hits. So 1 hit a day to keep that streak alive. And during that time, he also has 6 walks. There's a strike.
This is one of those spots that was always difficult as a hitter when your pitcher's struggling a little bit to find his command and you give up some early runs. Trying to figure out what type of team approach do you go with now. You know, you come out, you stay ready, stay aggressive on a guy who has a lot of walks during the season, or do you come out and make him throw strikes? It can do a couple things for your lineup, but it makes for a difficult situation to figure out what type of approach you want to have moving forward throughout the game.
3-2 on Donaldson.
You know, the key really when you get down early is, not to get, home run happy and got to get it back now, immediately. Kikuchi is a guy that you need to kind of wait out. You don't want to play into his hand and be overly aggressive, start swinging at those changeups outside the strike zone. Look, he's got an ERA because he gives up runs. I mean, you've got plenty of time to fight your way back into this game.
Three-two on Donaldson. And a walk. Well, which baseball movie is your favorite of all time? Fill out your bracket at MLB.com/bleacherfeatures for a chance to win a Hollywood prize package, including tickets to the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard in L.A.
If you think about it, movies about sports, baseball's got to be number one about movies about a sport, right? I mean, there are some basketball movies, there are some football movies, but baseball, I mean, you can just rattle off tons of them, right?
I think the only one that comes close, Paul, would probably be boxing. Boxing's a perfect sport for movies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
One and one on Hicks. Hicks has walked 6 times in the last 4 games where he's had a plate appearance. And he has 16 walks this year, which is 9th in the American League. Two and one.
Kikuchi's one of those left-handers who really pitches to the glove side extremely well. So as a right-handed hitter, he's tough to try to push the right field. He's a guy who I think your sights need to be in the middle of the field, left center, because he has such a good heater, and he really pitches well to the glove side. You see a lot of foul balls off to the right side when you're trying to push him that way.
Still 2-2.
Even right there, when you're thinking center, when you're thinking in the middle of the field, and you're a tick late, then that ball is in play. It just gives you a little bit more room to work with as a hitter.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Donaldson's at first, held there by Guerrero.
Paul, people get out of whack and can get in funks, but as a hitter, from your opinion, how important was your approach? I hear you talk about it all the time with Glaber. Like, when you got off, was it mechanical, or was it sometimes just I'm getting away from my approach?
I always thought it started with a little mechanical things, and then they could be just tiny little things. You know, you're getting out front a little bit too quick, you're coming off the ball, and then all of a sudden when you hit that magic like 0 for 10, then it became kind of like mental. Then, well, am I ever going to get a hit again? So, you know, I always felt like it started with a little mechanical thing, and that's why I always thought it was so important when you were hot to continue to work hard, to stay that way, because you don't want to lose that feeling.
2-2. 3-2 on Hicks.
Cam, you brought up a good point, and you were talking about Jamie Moyer yesterday in the game. And Jamie Moyer, you could always look changeup and slider because he didn't throw hard enough to get inside, and so you could fight it off. Where Kikuchi is a guy that you just can't sell out on that changeup because he throws well enough to get the ball inside on righties.
I wish I'd have knew you back then to give me that scout report on Jamie Moyer. Might have helped me out a lot more.
I had him good to about hit me in the face one night. Then things changed a little bit.
And he worked a walk. 17th walk this year, 2 straight walks for Kikuchi, who's walked 3 Yankees so far. And speaking of walks, here's Pete Walker walking out to the mound, well, kind of jogging, but you see what I was trying to do there, to talk with Kikuchi.
Okay. You're trying to get on a roll here, but the game's is kind of dragging for you when you're throwing out your things.
I'm going to drag it along with me. You text the mayor yet, Kim?
No, I just had a couple buddies say, don't forget about me when you go out with the mayor. So he hadn't texted me back yet, but everybody else is hitting me up.
If you're the mayor, you got to have an NYC card just to fire a dinner on there or two, right?
So here's Gleyber Torres. Now, what should have been an error starting up the second inning was scored a hit, but that kind of opened the gates for that second inning for Severino. I am stunned that Kirk's ground ball that went off Torres' glove has scored a hit.
Yeah, that is an error all day. I mean, Gleyber would tell you that that's a play that he should make in his sleep. So.
I'm just thinking the mayor wanted to take his position. Well, obviously, he thought it was an error, too.
There you go. That was the telltale right there.
I mean, all due respect, I mean, come on. How's that a hit? I don't think Luis Severino thinks it's a hit.
Absolutely not. You know who thinks it's a hit? Kirk thinks it's a hit.
And I think Torres will say, yeah, it was a hit. Fly ball, right center. And Hernandez makes the play as Springer falls down to get out of the way.
You don't see that very often. It looked like the center fielder, Springer, got called off by the right fielder, Hernandez, and he just hit the deck.
Yeah, and then Cardinal rule, you never want to go in front of your fellow outfielder. That right there could have went very, very sideways for the Blue Jays, very fast, but Teoscar able to stay with that ball and make that play.
Here's Isaiah Kanafalefa. a strike. Turned into a pretty nice crowd here on a Tuesday evening. Yankees and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays expected to battle the Yankees, but here we are on May 10th, and they are already 5 games back in the loss column. So obviously not a mega important series, but they want to show themselves that they could do some damage here in the Bronx. They were here last month, and they split 4 games, and then they lost 2 out of 3 in Toronto. But Charlie Montoyo, the manager of the Blue Jays, is actually happy where they are. He said, to be over 500 in this grind, I'm proud of my team, and we haven't clicked hitting yet. So we're proud of our offense, our pitching, and we're going to hit. You guys know we're going to hit.
Yeah, I think they came into the year thinking they were just going to outslug people, and that hasn't happened to this point. But their bullpen has been the issue too. As good as Romano is closing games out, their bullpen has been an issue. And if you're not scoring a lot of runs and your bullpen's giving up a lot of runs, this day and age, you're going to lose some games.
Well, Paul, they score 3.83 runs per game. That's 20th in the big leagues. They're a better offense than that. They are still hitting homers, 34 home runs, which is 6th in Major League Baseball, but not enough people are on. (3-0) Blue Jays are in the bottom of the second. 1-2 on Kiner-Falefa. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes, 2 away.
Well, that's a good changeup that just kind of disappears that we were talking about, and he uses it well, especially with 2 strikes to put hitters away.
And here is Kyle Higashioka. He has 7 hits so far this season, 4 ribbies, but has yet to send one over the wall. And that's part of the equation with Kyle. You want him to run into 10 to 15 a year, and he had 7 in spring training. But so far he's at 0 here at the beginning of May. More than a week into May. Chase the high fastball, 0-1.
This game is amazing. This game we play, throughout my 15-year career, I can be honest to say I had 1 good spring training. And during that spring training, it was a year where during the offseason, I went to play in the Dominican. I went to La Romana and played for the Los Toros. But, I always would say a lot of guys, kill spring training. But once that red light comes on, they tend to struggle at times. And you much rather struggle in spring training than during the regular season. I was always a firm believer in that. Using spring training to get ready for the season and being ready when the season started. And I know Higgy not quite where he wants to be right now.
Paul, you didn't want to have too many hits in spring training, right?
No, you just wanted to be comfortable. But, when I was listening to Cam talk right there, I never remember having a good year if I did not get off to a good start. It was like once opening day got here, that was so important to me to get off to a good start where you weren't, kind of fighting uphill the rest of the year. It's exhausting mentally, and it's just always, always trying to play catch up.
Kikuchi fields the comebacker, touches up on first, and the opening walks are stranded as we go to the 3rd. Brought to you in part by Investors Bank, banking in your best interest. By the New York Lottery, get out there and play. And by Cadillac, gravitate to greatness and visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. From one field of dreams to the one across the street. That's where Paul used to play.
I'll tell you one thing, if you look at the lights on that field outside, you can see the ball much better in Yankee Stadium. I'll tell you, remember some of the A-ball parks, Cam? You could hardly even see the pitcher, let alone the baseball.
Man, where is he standing out there?
Those are really, really good lights for a public facility. That's a well-lit field.
Some of them don't even have lights.
The 0-1 up the middle. Torres is there. High throw. But Rizzo came down in time to beat Teoscar Hernandez to the bag. One away.
Glaber right here making the play, but all of a sudden, you start, you can go in slumps defensively just like you can offensively. And today, off to kind of a shaky start at second base. Lucky enough that he had plenty of time for Rizzo to get back down on the base.
One thing that shows you, though, he hurried his throw because Teoscar Hernandez was running hard down the line.
Hard 90. We talked about it yesterday. We saw a couple balls hit yesterday. DJ LeMahieu and Josh Donaldson, not quite busting out of the box like they're accustomed to, but that matters when a guy hit, you hit a ball and you make a guy rush. You may not get a hit, but you get somebody on base for your team to possibly create some damage. So that's all you want to do. You don't have to run as hard as you can, but you got to give your team a good 90.
High fly ball. Hicks is there in left center, puts it away for the second out. One thing that Severino needs is a low pitch inning here and get back to the dugout, because remember, the Yankees are in a stretch, 23 games in 22 days, no off days, and they need some length out of their starters. You can't ask a bullpen to give you 21 outs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now you see in this inning having some early success because he's getting strike one. He's getting ahead. He's not wasting pitches, trying to nibble too much. That's key for Sevy. And I spoke to Nestor yesterday about his struggles against Toronto in Toronto, and he said, I think I was just trying to be a little too perfect instead of attacking the zone without giving in. And you saw early in this game, Sevy trying to nibble, I think, a little bit much instead of trusting his stuff and his ability, and it got him in a little bit of trouble tonight.
Well, it's good to see that, he was throwing those seeds with his left hand after that performance yesterday. He still feels all right. You were questioning, how he would get into, pitch count-wise, but I tell you what, the more I thought about that last night, he was incredible yesterday. Just the way, it's not like they were hitting balls hard at people. He was pitching.
He spoke about his tempo a lot, too, today when I spoke to him about that. He just said his tempo was so good. Paul, we talked about it yesterday, never allowing hitters to get comfortable in the box. We know how good his stuff has been, but he just talked about how good his tempo was yesterday.
Fly ball, right field. Stanton's there, and Severino gets a 1-2-3 inning and did it on just 9 pitches. We go to the bottom of the third. We welcome Wesley Slade Purcell, 7 pounds, 7 ounces, 21 inches long. Emily Coulter and John Purcell, both who work at Yes. This is a true Yes baby. Well, they welcome little Wesley into the world on Sunday, May 8th. Mom, Dad, and baby are doing great. And, John, let me tell you something. Somewhere Daddy, Butch, is smiling about his grandson. That is so awesome. Congratulations. We're thrilled for both of you and the baby. Welcome to the world. We go to the bottom of the third inning, and DJ LeMahieu will lead it off. Yankees have won 6 straight series. They're 7-1-1 in series this year. There's a ground ball to Guerrero. They haven't played perfectly. One away. And here's Aaron Judge.
You saw some swings last series. Aaron Judge just fouling off some good pitches. And tonight, first at bat, just missing a pitch of driving it out of the ballpark. So it looks like he's getting a little closer to getting hot again.
Good strike on the inside corner.
You know, Paul, listening to you speak about some of the balls that Aaron missed last series, I had a chance to talk to him today. And Aaron, not being a guy who makes a lot of excuses, we spoke about all the low pitches that have been called strikes on him. And, you know, it's putting him behind in counts. It's putting him in defensive counts. And he's talked about the pitches that he missed. It's actually getting to his subconscious a little bit at times because he's worried about protecting against that pitch, that low ball out of the zone. And when you get that cookie, you tend to miss it at times. So, you know, he spoke about getting back to just looking for what he does well, the pitches that he handles well, so he doesn't miss those pitches. But you're absolutely right. Hit the nail on the head with that.
Again, another pretty good pitch to hit. This ball didn't get inside, and you see Aaron Judge, you know, he does have a slight uppercut. That's why he is a prodigious home run hitter, but, you know, just under the baseball enough to foul it back. And you see what Kikuchi does in it at bat. You've seen a high fastball, change up in the dirt, now down and away fastball. So, you know, he's all over the map. Not really one pitch or one location that you can sit on as a hitter.
I mean, he does have some effective erraticness to his pitching style.
Judge swings and misses, 2 away.
Again, I mean, a really good pitch to hit. It just, you know, you're caught in between, kind of change up in the back of your mind, fastball down the middle by you. And it's just, you know, you know that Aaron Judge, when he is hot and when he's swinging the bat well, doesn't miss and doesn't foul these pitches off.
There's Rizzo. He worked a walk in the first inning, and there's a strike.
Michael, I can't help it, but every time you say there's Rizzo, I think about Grease. I'm like, it's like my favorite movie. I'm like, all right, where's Rizzo?
You got to find Kanicki, too.
That's right.
0-2. Yankees have not had a hit over 2 2/3. Skied the other way and out of play.
That's a little surprising to me. Kikuchi right there, fastball away at 97. You know, if I'm thinking of hitting off of him, I'm not looking for 97. I'm thinking, you know, a decent fastball with a good changeup, a little slider. At 97, that's top end.
He holds up. Count 1 and 2. Wow, he must have strong hands to hold up here.
Well, that's one thing that you do choke up for. You know, it gives you a little more bat control. And believe it or not, I think he did hold up. You know, first sight, I thought, oh, well, he got a break. But, you know, by choking up, you know, you can control the barrel a little bit better.
And he strikes out looking. So through 3, the Yankees still looking for their first hit. We go to the 4th inning. It's 3-0 Toronto. Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture was submitted by Dan. His daughter Avery loves watching the Yankees in her favorite baseball attire. Love the bow, Avery. Looks great. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media. Reflect your love for the Yankees. And we might spotlight you in a future game like we just spotlighted Avery. Oh and 2 on Chapman. Boy, Severino, a different pitcher after that second inning. Had a 9-pitch 1-2-3. Third, as Cameron said, throwing strikes early in the count. I love the wave, though, to Boone. That reminded me of when Mike Messina had a really violent wave to keep Joe Torre in the dugout when he was coming to get him out of the game.
You know, Sevy's been a guy who's suffered with some injuries, and you know he's worked his behind off to get back to health and being a staple in this rotation. So you know I enjoy seeing a guy like that, knowing we've got a rough road ahead as far as schedule goes, wanting the ball, trying to give his team some length and give the bullpen a little bit of a break.
Strikes out Chapman looking for the first out, so 5 in a row retired.
A quick little breaking ball right there. Chapman argued, but it looked like a pretty good pitch. Bottom of the zone. Could have been low.
Here's Espinal. 1-0.
Michael, those first 4 games we did, the first series we did together early, I mean, we kind of saw Espinal become an everyday player. He was on fire, kind of took the job away from Biggio, and he's hadn't looked back. He's still in that lineup pretty much every day.
One and two, working quickly, throwing strikes.
Mostly a third baseman last year, but he's kind of taken over at second base. And you know, in the 92 games that he had last year, he hit .311. So Montoyo knew that he had something. And he reminds me a lot. And I was kind of making out the lineups today of Kiner Falefa, just a good, solid baseball player, catches the ball, sprays the ball all over the field.
And strike 3. Espinal down looking. Here's that scene with Messina and Torrey. So Torrey's coming to take him out. No, you don't. You stay right there. Okay, okay.
Joe was so good at that too, because look, he can actually laugh at it. Most managers, you know, could you imagine if that was Billy Martin? He would have sprinted out there. Joe Torre could take it and laugh about it because he was a player that understood emotion and understood what players felt.
Oh, Paul, Billy would have shown some emotion.
Yeah, just going out there to get the ball, right?
1-0 on Heineman. Heineman laid down a sac bunt in the second. There's Billy's number 1 retired. And a strike. Well, he's just staying on the rubber, waiting for the sign. One and two.
I mean, that tempo, I mean, that ball may be a little bit off the plate, but again, Sevy has to put in his notes after this game no matter what happens. After those first couple innings, what has he done? Came out, trust his stuff, and attacked these hitters. You know, if guys beat you, make them beat you attacking the zone. When you've got stuff like Severino, you've got umpires with friendly pitching scouting reports, you hit no reason to nibble. Go right at guys.
Swing and a miss. Severino strikes out the side. Chapman, Espinal, and Heineman go down in order. Then we go to the bottom of the 4th. by Montefiore, state-of-the-art healthcare in New York City, Westchester, and the Hudson Valley. Hyunjin Ryu, left forearm inflammation. He's been on the IL since April 17th. Had a rehab start on Saturday with AAA Buffalo. 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. 2 of them earned. Didn't walk about or struck out 6. He's so important to what the Blue Jays are trying to do. Oh, look, Nestor Cortez's mustache is catching on. There you go. So Nestor said after throwing all those pitches, he said, I felt really great after the, in the middle of the game. He said, but after the game, he said, I kind of feel like a truck hit me. Fouled away.
Well, Michael, I thought you said something really that meant a lot as that game went on. It wasn't just the pitch count, but, the intensity of every pitch because of the no-hitter. It's just not 100 pitches or 105 pitches. It's just trying to make every single pitch the best when you start closing on a no-hitter.
And this means so much to him. He said after the game, he said, this is all I've done since I'm 4 years old. This is all I know how to do. And I just want to be the best I can be. And boy, he has found it. He has found something. It's a great story.
I'm happy for a guy like that when, he's going through so much, but gets an opportunity to figure it out. And, he talked about that, just, taking advantage of that opportunity last year to figure out and trying to just hone in on it and develop that skill and being able to repeat what he's been doing so well. And you couldn't be happier for a guy like Nestor Cortez.
High fly ball, shallow left. Bichette on the outfield grass makes the play. 1 down.
You take a look at yesterday, and we've talked a lot about it, but boy, it was a gem. And like I said, it wasn't like he was getting lucky and have balls hit hard at it. He was just absolutely had every arm angle, every pitch working. A lot of fun to do as a broadcaster, just to watch somebody that in control of the game. And then, not so much. Well, a little hit to center fielder.
Here's Josh Donaldson. Check swing, pitch upstairs. 1-0. Donaldson walked in the second inning.
So, Michael, were you feeling it? When we got into the 8th, were you feeling it? Or did you think that was there? Did you think we were going into a no-hitter?
I think he had the stuff, but the pitch count really, that's the thing that caught me, because he's in uncharted territory. Never thrown that many pitches in a game. And Boone said that he was going to let him pitch the 9th if he had a no-hitter, if he wasn't in any danger. One man's danger is another man's, okay, I'm fine. So it would have been interesting to see what he would do. Meredith, you spoke to Boone about that.
Well, I actually spoke to Nestor Cortez about going back out there in that 8th inning, and he thought all along that Aaron Boone was going to allow him to do so, and he said he felt good when he went back out. Mostly the emotions, the adrenaline, they were all taking over in that moment. We then asked him how he was feeling when he was speaking post-game, and he said, well, now I feel like I got hit by a truck. It's going to take a couple days, but I'll be back out there when they need me. But he's been such an asset, as we've talked about, to that rotation, and what a story it is. A guy that was a 36th round pick, and he is able to kind of reinvent himself, recreate himself, add that cutter, get in even better shape, and you can see the added velocity has helped him as well.
Swing and a miss. Donaldson down on strikes. And he also didn't play the too cool for school game. He said, I knew I was pitching no-hitter. A lot of guys go, oh, 7th inning, I had no idea. Everyone knows.
Yeah. Nestor's a transparent guy, and that's what I think guys in the clubhouse and people who've come across him love about him so much. He's going to keep it real and keep it honest.
Speaking of no-hitters, the Yankees have not picked up a hit over 3 2/3 innings against Kikuchi. And their offense is really stalled. They scored 5 runs in 3 games against Texas, and the reason why they won the series is their pitching was extraordinary. And now they're down 3-0, bottom of the 4th inning in game 1 of this 2-game set. 1-1.
And Kikuchi having a lot of the same success that he did last outing in Toronto. Really controlling the glove side of the plate, pitching in, then the inside part of the plate is opening up that changeup down and away. So I'm eager to see which Yankee is going to maybe change the approach and look to pull Kikuchi.
Last week against the Yankees, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Two and two. Did he go? No, he did not. Heineman was trying to sell it, but Marquez wasn't buying it.
That a high pitch, very easy for the umpire to see, and I think Aaron Hicks very lucky to still be up there.
Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Kikuchi. And he has retired 9 Yankees in a row after walking 2 straight in the second. We go to the 5th. It's 3-0 Toronto. Thank you, Bob. As we start the 5th inning, the first pitch to Springer is outside 1-0. Springer, a leadoff home run in the first inning, is 47th of the year. Or 47th of his career leadoff home run. That ties Curtis Granderson for 5th all time. Lofts that one to left field, and Hicks makes the play. 1 away. Let's go around the majors. How about the night for Josh Naylor? How about the end of the night? 8 ribbies after the 7th inning in a win against the White Sox. First player to do that since 1920. Ohtani, first career grand slam in a win against the Tampa Bay Rays. And Jose Quintana, first Pirate starter to record a win this season. Line down the right field line. That ball is going to be a foul ball. Not much room down there, but it found foul territory.
Well, if it misses down there, it doesn't miss by much. There's not a lot of room between the wall and the line.
You had a relationship with that side wall, right, Paul?
Yeah, it wasn't very nice to me at times.
What'd you say? There's about 5 feet from the foul line to the wall?
Yeah, it's not much. Hey, it was a giveaway night, huh?
0-2. So they're going to get Castro going, but obviously Severino's going to go over 100 pitches. And after struggling and having the bullpen up in the second, for him to get through 5 would be an accomplishment. And it would help the Yankees out quite a bit, even if they end up losing the game.
It would be a huge accomplishment. And hopefully, you know, something that Sevy can learn from. I mean, nibbling early in the game and not trusting his stuff. I mean, it got him in a little bit of trouble, and then he comes back out here these last 2 innings and just, you know, gets aggressive in the zone, and he's having the success that you expect him to when he's pounding the zone and getting ahead with strikes.
Swing and a miss. Dialed up the fastball. Bichette down on strikes. And that'll bring up Guerrero. Let's check out the Genesis League leaders. So best team record in a pitcher starts. Joe Musgrove 6-0. The Padres are. Severino 5-0, and Eric Lauer of the Milwaukee Brewers, also his team, 5-0. That's with a minimum of 4 starts. So Sevy came in 2-0, but in his 5 starts, the Yankees won each one. Guerrero laces one into right field, a base hit. Stanton Fields will get the ball in, so a 2-out single for Vlad Guerrero. And that is going to do it at 97 pitches. Well, he couldn't wave Boone back this time. So Aaron will take the ball from Severino. And the Yankees will go to Castro. Castro against Hernandez. When we get back, Yankees trail 3-0. Yes, is brought to you in part by Burke Rehabilitation. Get back in action with Burke. And by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Beautiful night here in the Bronx. Severino will watch the rest of this one with 2 outs in the 5th inning. He turns it over to the bullpen. And Miguel Castro will come on. Miguel Castro has as good a stuff as anybody, but you see the walk total. That's what frustrates you. His stuff is filthy, but sometimes he can't command it. So 8 strikeouts and 8 walks in 10 innings. Teoscar Hernandez was 0 for 2 against Severino. 0-1.
And Miguel can be extremely nasty and extremely tough. He's got that low three-quarter motion. He looks like he's going to throw the ball right at you as a right-handed batter. And you know he's got 97 and 98 in the tank, so it can be uncomfortable. And then he throws that breaking ball down in the way. And Paul can hear you laughing. You know how those at-bats can feel as a hitter up there. You're going, do I protect myself or do I dig in and try to get myself a knock?
You know, there are just some pitchers that are just uncomfortable to hit off, and it's so weird how, you know, you've got a list, I've got a list. Anybody that ever has played this game has got a list of guys that they really don't like facing.
Well, this is one of the guys on this list for me. This guy, Chris Carpenter, was a guy who gave me absolute nightmares throughout my career. You know, Michael Givens, another guy who throws around you. Romo, it's a handful of guys who flustered me throughout my career. Jamie Moyer, we talked about him earlier. So it's a long list of guys who gave me some headaches throughout my career.
So Paul, handful. I got a whole notebook. I got Randy Johnson, Jesse Orozco. I mean, they're all in there.
I knew you were not going to forget Orozco, although you got him at the end.
That's right. They released him the next day. Don't you remember?
They said if you can't get O'Neill out,
so you got the last laugh. You know, at least you got the last laugh.
That happened twice in my career. Once with Jesse Orozco and Don Sutton. They hit a home run off him, and the next day they released him from the Dodgers too. They figured, all right, this kid's going deep on you. It's time to go home.
swing and a miss. Got him on a 93-mile-an-hour changeup. Severino likes it. No runs to hit. One man left. Halfway through. 3-0 Blue Jays. Electric moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Electric moment of the game. Yusei Kikuchi. Slider's been working. Changeup working. And he's got the fastball commanding the glove side of the plate. He's in his bag. 95 to 97 tonight. So he's feeling good. He's feeling fine. And Yankees hitters extremely frustrated.
Frustrated to the tune of no hits through 4 innings. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the bottom third of the order. Torres, Kanafalefa, and Higashioka against Kikuchi, who's at 70 pitches. Swing and a miss. So between innings, well, Boone has a heart-to-heart with Severino. Always communicating. High fly ball, left field. Gurriel back. With plenty of room. Makes the play.
You can break down that conversation over there, and if you're Aaron Boone, hey, you bounce back. You got to, as far as you did. I mean, these were just communication things you were talking about, Michael. It'll take you into your next start because, the 8 days looked like he was a little rusty early, looked much better late. But, he had given up a few runs in the time, and a lot of times that's not going to beat you. But right now, the Yankee offense kind of sputtering, so, that 3 runs looks big.
Ground ball to Bichette. 2 away. Paul, can you even think of an almost hit they've had? Nothing, right? Nothing close.
Yeah, hadn't been a lot hit hard, that's for sure. And, you got to imagine when you're down 3-0 and you're not stringing any hits together. In order for them to get back in this game, they're going to need a big swing from somebody, probably out of the ballpark.
Cam, I think that LeMahieu's grounder to Guerrero in the third, probably the best struck ball.
Yeah, Glaber flew out to center on the ball, hit 105, which I thought was hit pretty good off the bat. Again, I don't want to get into talking about the balls, but the exit velo and the launch angle is a ball that usually has some success in falling, but yeah, other than that, not many balls been hit really hard tonight.
And a strike to Higashioka, 1-1. You see Kikuchi go to his mouth, and you saw the conversation they had at the beginning of the game. Well, on April 19th in Boston, Kikuchi was about to throw a 3-2 pitch to J.D. Martinez, but Angel Hernandez awarded Martinez ball 4 because Kikuchi licked his fingers while being on the rubber. So they probably were just reinforcing that, at least Alfonso Marquez was. Strike 3, Higashioka down looking. Yankees are being no-hit through 5 innings here at the stadium. We go to the 6th. In 1990, 5 Yankees have finished as the runner-up in American League MVP voting. Who are they? And we asked that because Vlad Guerrero was the runner-up last year. Montefiore scoreboard, top of the 6th, 3-0. Castro came on to get the final out of the 5th. In there to start the 6th. Ohtani won the award last year. Guerrero finished 2nd.
Have a year like Vlad Guerrero Jr. had last year to come 2nd to what Ohtani was able to do.
I don't think it did it get him? No, it did not. Or maybe it did. He's taking the stuff off.
And you saw that deep breath from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And this is that's what I'm talking about from Castro at times. Things that can make you nervous.
Whoa.
You know, the way he throws, he's always got a chance to let one go arm side. You see the deep breath right there. Glad that was a off-speed pitch and not a fastball. It could have really been dangerous.
Okay, where did it get him?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I don't think it got him. I don't know. I mean, the 2 looks that I had, I didn't see it get him anywhere.
That last look we had, it looked like it almost grazed his right hand when it was already by him. But it didn't get him square, that's for sure.
2-0. I don't think it. I mean, did it get
maybe a fingertip? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the bat. Three and 0 on Kirk. The Yankees didn't argue, although Higashioka did hand the bat back to Gurriel, thinking that the bat was going to continue. Three and 1.
We'll see here, 3-1 count. Blue Jays with a 3-0 lead. See if Gurriel Jr. looks to possibly get a jump right here off of Castro.
He goes. There's a strike. Throw to second. Not in time.
Yeah, it's a base stealer right there. 3-1 count. Up 3 runs. You got to be thinking Lourdes Gurriel is going to try his best to get in scoring position and try to add on. Castro doesn't do an extremely good job of holding runners on, and Gurriel, a guy with some athleticism and some speed, and you see him taking advantage of the slow move to home plate from Castro.
Strike 3. Kirk done looking. Well, tomorrow afternoon on Yes, it's Getaway Day as the Yankees wrap up this quick 2-game set with the Blue Jays. Coverage starts at noon with the pregame show. Then first pitch is scheduled for 12:35. That's right, 12:35 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. And after the game, the Yankees will travel to Chicago after the game to open up the series with the White Sox. 4 games against the White Sox and 4 against the Orioles. 8-game road trip. There's Matt Chapman. With the upcoming schedule, looks like so Thursday's on Yes, then Friday is a Prime Video presentation, Saturday on Yes, and Sunday on Yes, and all 4 in Baltimore. 3 night games and a 12:35 Getaway Day on Thursday, all on Yes. Gurriel leads off second. Blue Jays lead 3-0, top of the 6th. 1-2 on Chapman. Chapman's 0 for 1, walked, scored a run, and struck out looking. 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3. Chapman down looking.
It's funny because Castro will throw that nasty slider that really breaks away, and then every once in a while he'll throw one that almost backs up. And that ball just kind of sits there, but fools Chapman because it's right at his front hip. You see the spin of the slider, but not a lot of grab to it. It fooled Chapman. It didn't go away.
Espinal takes a strike. Oh, and 2. Espinal calls time. Strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts. 3 strikeouts looking for Castro. Speaking of looking, the Yankees looking for their first hit. Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. And by Ford, the official SUV of the Yankees. Montefiore scoreboard, Toronto 3-4-0, Yankees 0-0-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Now, Paul, we always ask the pitchers this, when do you know? When a team is being no-hit, when do you realize it as a hitter?
Yeah, when you're middle of the game, you're thinking, we haven't got anything together, and all, you haven't scored runs, but you do peek up there and like, wow, we don't even have a hit yet. So, I think it sinks in about the same time, 5th, 6th inning.
There's a strike. Yankees scored just 1 run yesterday, but because of Cortez and the bullpen, that's all they needed. They won the game 1-0. Oh, and 2.
We talked in the pitcher scouting report that this is his third appearance against the Yankees already in this young season, and usually that kind of helps the hitters. You know, you get used to seeing certain things, but Kikuchi has been really on top of his game today. He really hasn't missed with much, and I think he's got a tick up on his fastball tonight, which absolutely sets up that changeup even more.
Chad Green getting up. One, two. Still 1-2.
Kim, you know those nights where, you know, it just seems like you're getting 3 or 4 guys on an inning, and it just seems like you're, every time you come to the dugout, you're heading to the bat rack to get your helmet and get ready to hit. And then you have nights like this, it's like, man, I feel like I haven't hit in an hour. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just like you can't get in any rhythm whatsoever offensively.
Yeah, those nights are tough because you start to kind of lose your identity as a club. And what are you trying to do? And then you get in search mode, and you can kind of get away from your approach and your plan, and then you're digging yourself a deeper hole at times. But you're right. Nights like this are never easy to deal with. And Kikuchi doing an outstanding job. A guy who has, you know, been trouble with the walk this year. I mean, not very many tonight, throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, getting ahead, setting himself up for good things to happen tonight.
2-2. That one's driven deep to left field. Does it have the height? No, it's going to be off the base of the wall. Yankees' first hit. LeMahieu going into second. He's in there with a leadoff double.
Well, all of a sudden the base hit, the fans come alive, and again, this ball is out over the plate just enough to not get in. And DJ LeMahieu, this is the ball that he turns on, something with a little wrinkle in it. It's not a true fastball away. Hammered off the left field wall, and now all of a sudden with a leadoff double, the Yankees are looking to get into the game, not only get into the hit column.
And again, looking at where that first hit came from, left part of the ballpark, Kikuchi controlling the arm side well. This is a guy you have to try to pull, and good job by DJ.
Pitch outside to Judge, and boy, Paul's right. That kind of woke up the crowd. They were sitting on their hands, waiting for something to happen. Finally, the double by LeMahieu puts a number in the hits column. Now the Yankees trying to put a number in the runs column. Two and 0. Has not had much success against Kikuchi, but the 2 hits he does have both left the yard. Rizzo's on deck. Two and 1.
Unbelievable. Do we have to keep talking about this, Michael? I mean, Aaron Boone knows it. I mean, you can see from the manager's view, you can see this ball low. Nothing you can do with it, especially in a 2-0 count.
Hit sharply and grabbed there by Chapman. He bobbles it. That'll allow Judge to reach. That's a platinum gold glove winning third baseman, but he snared the ball but couldn't throw it.
Yeah, 104 off the bat by Judge, and again doing a good job of busting up the line, putting a little pressure on Matt Chapman. Good swing by AJ after taking that low strike, locking back in and hitting the ball hard, making something happen.
Judge gets a hit as Pete Walker comes out to talk with Yusei Kikuchi.
I tell you what, if you're the Yankees, I mean, you're looking at Matt Chapman, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time Platinum winner. You got to look at it. You just caught a break here, and now you've set the table to try to get back in this game here quick. 2 men on, nobody out.
Yeah, outstanding play of picking that ball and seeing him taking a little book out of DJ LeMahieu's book and wiping his hand off. But as he went to his glove, he just couldn't quite get a good grip to make a good, strong throw across the diamond. You watch right here. Gets up, wipes that hand off quick. The wherewithal to do that, but not being able to grab that ball cleanly and make a good throw.
First and second, nobody out. And Rizzo skies one to deep center field. Going back, Springer still back. In front of the track, he makes the catch. Tagging is LeMahieu. He'll go to third. Judge stays put at first.
That's a really good job by LeMahieu. I mean, you get kind of caught in the middle sometimes and don't have enough time to get back and tag up. I mean, immediately, deep part of the ballpark, you look at the swing of Rizzo, you know it's not leaving the ballpark. At least get back to second base in time. You see, he didn't hesitate. He had a good read and got back in plenty of time to coast into third base.
Well, that's going to do it for Kikuchi. With Stanton coming up, they'll go to Garcia. First and third, 1 man out. Yankees threatening. Friday, May 20th, when the Yankees host the White Sox and celebrate an all-time Yankees favorite, Andrew Eugene Pettit. It's Andy Pettit bobblehead night, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance receive an Andy Pettit bobblehead courtesy of Delta Airlines. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com/tickets. Kikuchi, 5 1/3. The runners on are his responsibility. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He threw 89 pitches. Jimmy Garcia, his 13th game, 0-2, 3.75. Remember, there's a quick turnaround after this game, so I want everybody watching to remember to turn on Yes at 12 o'clock tomorrow for the pregame, and 12:30 is first pitch between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. A short 2-game set before the Yankees hit the road. LeMahieu's at third. Judge is at first. Stanton 0 for 2 against Kikuchi. And a strike. 0-1. Grounded to second and popped to the shortstop in shallow left field.
If you want big at-bats, you want them against the bullpen of the Blue Jays. They have struggled this year, 21st in all of baseball, ERA-wise. You take Romano out of that mix, who's been really good at closing, and bullpen even worse. So these are the big at-bats, and these are the guys that you want to hit off if you're the Yankee hitters.
Stanton faced Garcia May 2nd in Toronto. It was 2-2 in the ninth inning. He led off with a single against Garcia. And then the Yankees pinch ran LaCastro for Stanton. He stole a base, and then that led to Gleyber Torres' RBI single to give the Yankees a lead in the eventual win. Josh Donaldson's on deck. Blue Jays are back looking for the double play. Two and two.
See Garcia really trying to keep the ball down in the zone to Stanton. Nothing that he can really get his arms extended out over the plate.
High drive, right field. Hernandez back. He's on the track. See ya! A game-tying 3-run home run. Stanton goes the other way, right down the line, and the Yankees have come back to tie it.
His 7th of the year comes up big and changes his whole game all the way back to tying it up 3-3. First ball he got up in the strike zone from Garcia. He knows what to do with it. Going the other way at Yankee Stadium. A huge at bat by Big G.
Now has 22 runs batted in. Here's Donaldson. Well, Paul said it. This is a part of the team that struggled, except for the closer Romano, who has 12 saves to lead the majors. Setting him up has been somewhat difficult. And drilled is Donaldson. And he's getting escorted down the first baseline with Barrett. Now, you never know if that is on purpose. The Yankees think it is. And Paul, we've seen that throughout the history of baseball. Somebody hits a home run, the next guy gets plunked.
Yeah, I mean, you got to tie a game here. You can't imagine there's intent here, especially with only one out. But you know what? It's never fun, whether it's intentional or not. It looks bad right after a game-tying home run. There's a two-seam fastball, just took up and in.
What do you think, Cam?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't think they're trying to hit him, but what I love the most about this is from the jump, the whole entire dugout up, you know, letting Yimi Garcia know that they don't appreciate that and they've got their teammates back. And that's what I love. That's what I love about this whole team right now, the chemistry, the character in that clubhouse.
Wow, they threw him out of the game. Not even a warning, they threw him out of the game.
And I'm sure Montoya is not going to like this at all.
Now he gets thrown out.
It looks like a few people have been tossed out of this game very, very quickly.
Well, the umpires were meeting, and you figured they'd give a warning, but they threw him out of the game. And Garcia is fired up, being held back by 3 or 4 Blue Jays. Now Guerrero gets in there, and he'll escort him to the dugout.
And listen, this is the type of energy we're going to see throughout the year from these two teams. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Paul spoke about it. This is a budding rivalry, and you know, tempers and energy are going to be high every time these two teams face off, and you see it from the Yankees dugout. Not happy at all about that hit by pitch, and again, the Blue Jays dugout as well. Not happy about the call from the umpire ejecting Yimi Garcia for that.
You know, sometimes as an umpire, I think that it looks obvious, but you know what? You've got to take it in the hand here. You've got a tie game, and you see Garcia's frustrated anyway. To just be thrown out without a warning, you know what? It's very hard for him to take. You know, he knows intent, believe me, in his head, and it just looked like a two-seamer got away. There's no reason that he felt like he should have been thrown out of this game.
Well, Montoya is still red hot. thought, guys, at worst, it would be a warning. So Garcia's been thrown out. Montoyo's been thrown out. The Blue Jays need another pitcher. And it's all because of this pitch.
You know, Michael, I got an idea. You just bring the mayor back. We need some order here on the field to figure out what's going on around here.
Well, Pete Walker, the pitching coach, has been thrown out. Looks like the Blue Jays are going to bring in David Phelps, and they'll have some time to warm up to replace the ejected Garcia. Now, Garcia probably is more red hot because of this fact. The home run by Stanton. Somewhere Chris Woodward is smiling. That's a home run in one ballpark that happens to be located on 161st Street and River Avenue in the Bronx. Let's take a look at the sequence against Stanton, Paul.
Yeah, if you look at the way Garcia was going about Stanton, he got ahead early, but everything is down. You see he misses down there, tries to go back down there, got a swing and a miss, but then he stayed down there, but finally got a ball up in the strike zone and out in the seats.
Home run number 7, RBIs number 20, 21, and 22.
Call it cheap if you want to. That's 105 off the bat. I mean, that ball is hit by an extremely large and strong human being who, when he hit it, you watch the big fella stand up on the ball, and he can tell you that ball was not coming back. You know what? The way this game started, Savvy coming out struggling, giving up 3 runs early. I mean, if you're a Yankee fan, if you're Aaron Boone, you got to be happy with how this Yankees lineup has responded tonight in this game.
I don't know if my eyes deceived me, but I could have sworn that Montoya was thrown out of the game, but he remains in the dugout.
You know, we were talking going into this inning, you know, with no hits. All of a sudden, DJ LeMahieu leads it off, gets a hit, and then the Yankees, in my mind, catch a huge break by a Gold Glove third baseman not making a play. And then finally, you get your power hitter up there, you get one mistake, and he did not miss it.
It's amazing. And no matter how long you watch this game of baseball, seems like there's always a play in the game or something always happens where a guy misses the play that he should make, a base running blunder, error, and it always seems to come back and bite, and bite you if you're on defense. You're absolutely right.
Well, David Phelps, the former Yankee, he is ready. He inherits a runner on first base and 1 man out. So the stadium has come alive, a big crowd here on a Tuesday night as the Yankees have come back to tie it at 3 on the Stanton 3-run home run the other way, right down the line, just to the left of the 314-foot sign. They play Hicks to pull. Chapman on the grass halfway between second and third. And a strike. Montoya obviously not thrown out. He remains in the dugout. They certainly gave him a long leash. But it was Pete Walker, the pitching coach, who got tossed along with Garcia. 0-2. There he is.
Yeah, he started out the dugout like he wanted to be the guy to get in the umpire's, rear end, and then he turned into the peacemaker there for a second, trying to keep a lot of his players in the game.
1-2.
You hate to see that, but it's really hard for me to really think that he was thrown at the guy in a 3-3 ball game. All of these games extremely important in this division. Coming off of a losing record in their last 5, I just really tough to see him trying to hit Donaldson on purpose.
It's an umpire's decision, but now in that decision, you've got fines. You might lose a pitcher for a couple of days, and that's what irritates the manager. I mean, sometimes you saw the Yankee dugout. Sure, you get mad when your players get hit, whether it's intentional or not intentional. But I've seen too many games that are too close, and divisions come down to one game sometimes in a season. You don't hit people in a tie game late in the game.
Tapped right back to Phelps. There's one. That's all they'll get as Hicks reaches on the fielder's choice.
And again, another, not a blunder, but not a good defensive play. This is a chance to a double play, but the ball was thrown on the shortstop side of the bag where you had no opportunity to turn to. And if you do the math, you're giving the Yankees 4 or 5 outs this inning, and that's what has cost the Blue Jays.
And Phelps knew he made a mistake. And here's Gleyber Torres. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball to right, fly ball to left.
It doesn't take long to realize that, Aaron Hicks is wanting stolen base to be part of his game this year. And, he's been successful so far this year, and especially with 2 outs. I think as a base runner, you start to try to pick a pitch, try to pick a count to get yourself into scoring position.
The Yankees as a team have 17 stolen bases in 28 games. They picked up their 17th stolen base last year in their 79th game. Much more athletic team that does run when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, Hicks spoke to me about that 2 days ago, just saying he wants to be more aggressive. He wants to, do more for this team. He don't want to sit around and sit at first and wait for guys to drive him in. And, it's something that he has the ability to do. And Anthony Rizzo spoke about it. If they're going to give it to me, I'll take it. And those are the little things that, have the Yankees at the top of this division right now, being more balanced, catch the ball better than they have in the past. And it's a lot of good things going on for this Yankees team.
Now, I think this has become an organizational philosophy because if you look down in the Yankee minor league system, they are running wild down there. They're stealing more bases than most organizations. So that's what they're teaching their young players. And Aaron Boone talked about they're also teaching them to get secondary leads, to go first to third, score from second on a single, score from first on a double. So they are really accentuating base running down in the Yankee minor league systems. 1-2. 2-2.
Defense and base running kept me around the game for a long time. I can truly attest to that. Being able to always be prepared defensively, throw to the right bases, not make outs on the bases. It kept me in the game for a long time, so it's extremely important.
High fly ball. Hernandez there and puts it away for the final out. But the Yankees tie the score. Giancarlo Stanton goes the other way. When it comes down, it's a 3-run home run, a 3-3 game. And then the fireworks began. Yankees were kicked, and Garcia was thrown out. And more people tossed as well. That kind of night. Answer to this trivia question: since '90, 5 Yankees has finished as the runner-up in American League MVP voting. Who are they? I believe that Jeter finished second once. Maybe Mo?
Tino for sure, 97.
Tino, Sheffield, Jeter, Teixeira, and Aaron Judge.
Tino was the MVP, and he won the home run derby that year at the All-Star game, too. He was on fire.
So Jonathan Loaisiga takes over as we go to the 7th inning. This will be his 13th game. So Raimel Tapia is going to pinch hit for Heineman. A 3-3 game. One and 0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. So Severino off the hook. And the Yankees still have a chance to make him 6-0 in his starts, at least the team 6-0 in his starts. Two and one.
You know, the one thing you could take away from Sevy is, boy, once he found it, he made it look easy, and he just started throwing everything. You know, he got off to kind of a rocky start where, you know, a young pitcher could throw in the towel, and you see, you know, Sevy maturing into a top quality starter. You know, he found his stuff, kept them in the game, and all of a sudden, boom, one swing of the bat, you got an opportunity to win this game.
That was a high changeup, but got him on the change of speed. 2-2. These two teams have played 7 times, with the Yankees taking 4 of the 7. So by the end of tomorrow, they'll have 9 games in the book, and the next time they meet will be in June in Toronto. And with the scheduling quirk, the Yankees haven't even met the Tampa Bay Rays yet. But all of these divisional games are so important. Remember, last year's wild card game, the Yankees and the Red Sox had the same record, but the Red Sox won in head-to-head 10-9, and that's why that game was in Fenway Park.
And they won that game 10-9, and they also talked about the record against the Orioles last year.
Yep.
You know, games that you have to win, series that you have to win, so you're not looking at that wild card game. I mean, right now, most wins by 3 runs or fewer. The Yankees 14, the Blue Jays 14, and the Padres 14. So they're going to be close games throughout the season, especially in the division.
Chop toward third, backhanded nicely by LeMahieu. Fires, got him. That's a good play by DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. That's an in-between hop, and you know Tapia has good speed, so you got to come up with it clean. You got to get rid of it and make a good throw. And anytime you're playing in that shift, it kind of puts you see he hesitates and take the longer hop instead of running into a bad hop. And then once he made the play, nice strong throw across the field.
There's a strike to Springer.
You can hear these Yankees fans giving it to George Springer for, you know, questioning that down pitch right there for strike 1.
0-2.
Springer has had so many injuries, even an injury last year. But if you look what he means to this team, the Blue Jays, I mean, they're 66-41 when he plays and 46-43 when he doesn't play. So he is a big difference in this lineup.
Bichette on deck. Two and two. LeMahieu deep at third, 10 feet off the line. Torres shades up the middle at second. Outfield straight away, 2-2. That one is punched into right field. It's a base hit in front of Stanton. So Springer with a one-out single here in the seventh.
Well, good players just sometimes have good at-bats. I mean, this is not a bad pitch. A little slider down and away right off the corner. Springer goes out and gets it and just flips it to right field right off the end of the bat. But again, just a tremendous at-bat by a good player.
That's up and in. Now they're saying, why isn't he thrown out? And now, let's see who got it this time. Looks this time they got Montoyo.
Good eye this time.
You know, Michael, I hate to say it, but it's a little embarrassing to me right now what the umpires have done to this game. I mean, this is a good game. It's 3-3. I mean, it's a nail biter, and they're taking things in within their hand. I mean, every close pitch, you're throwing people out, this and that. Obviously, you don't want to see guys get hurt or hit, but I don't think any of these pitches have been intentional. I mean, the game means much more than getting back at somebody at this point. This is a two-seam fastball again, just up and in. All right, that's baseball.
What made it seem more dramatic is the helmet came off and that beautiful mane of hair was flapping.
Yeah.
So Lance Barrett had enough of Montoyo. What, you throwing me out? Me? So Garcia, the pitching coach Walker, now the manager Montoyo have been tossed out of this game. Yeah, you're the one. You. Alek Manoah always has a strong opinion. There's a strike. John Schneider, the bench coach, is the acting manager. In on the hands, 2-2. So a very sleepy first 5.5 innings. Now this game has some buzz to it. 3-3. That's the score. Top of the 7th inning. 6 hits for the Blue Jays, 3 for the Yankees. And the 2-2. Swing and a foul ball.
You see the little difference in Loaizaga this year. You know, you see the waist-high sinker. You don't see it down at the knees, kind of bearing in on the hands. He's kind of lost the feel of dotting that ball down and in and down and away. And believe me, I love him for what he did last year and the stuff that he has. He's just got to figure out how to get that ball a little more down in the strike zone like he was last year.
Just missed off the outside corner.
No, I really believe these last few innings, we're getting a taste of how this series is going to play out throughout the season and how intense and how energetic it's going to be between both of these ball teams.
Well, the Blue Jays come into the season feeling like it's their time. They've been knocking on the door the last couple of years, and they feel that as they have on their dugout at Rogers Center, this is the next level. They take it to the next level, and they know they're probably going to have to go through the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Definitely two teams they're going to have to go through, and the Yankees doing their best fight to let the Blue Jays know that, hey, we're still the team to beat in this division.
Grounded to third. There's one. On to first. It's a double play. 5-4-3 double play to end the top of the 7th inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, Yankees 3 and the Blue Jays 3. As this double play is completed, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. We'll stay right here as they honor America in the Bronx.
And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Navy Petty Officer 3rd Class Robert Burke from Nutley, New Jersey, who served in Vietnam and during the Cold War. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains.
No, you're much better. I won't have it. Nice. All right, bottom of the 7th inning, the Cadillac game summary, 3-6-0 for the Blue Jays, 3-3-0 for the Yankees. Kikuchi went 1 out into the 6th. Severino 2 outs into the 5th. Springer with a leadoff home run, his 47th of his career, but way behind Ricky Henderson. And Stanton, a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. Garcia, Walker, and Montoyo ejected. Garcia ejected for hitting Josh Donaldson following the Stanton home run. So Zach Collins will take over behind the plate. Remember, Heineman got pinch hit for, and Adam Simber will take over on the mound.
Simber's all about arm angle and his delivery. Very tough for right-handers to pick up. You know, it's funny, Michael. I was sitting here just almost laughing to myself because Jack Curry said something that, you know, nobody came here to watch the umpire. And I can remember to this day yelling at an umpire, getting thrown out of the game, and him saying, and I actually said to him, oh, yeah, everybody's here to see you. And I got kicked out of the game. And I'm walking back to the dugout, and in my mind, I'm thinking, they probably weren't here to see you either, pal. They were here to see Jeter and Bernie. What are you talking about?
Jack's starting to think like you. He wrote the book with you, so now he's thinking just like you. He spent enough time.
You know what? That's a scary thought. Jack's a pretty smart guy. It should go both ways, right? He's got to sink in on me, too, right?
And that book's coming out at the end of the month. Really good book. I've read it.
Oh, you got the early copy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Man, how do I get myself one of those?
I think you have to go to Amazon and buy it.
No,
Can I just cash out Paul or something? You know?
I got you. I got a few here. They actually sent me a couple. I feel pretty good.
Swing and a miss. Kind of Falefa down on strikes.
Again, you look at Simber and where he delivers the ball from, and you can explain it more than me, Cam. I had a few lefties that tried this. It's just you're not used to picking up the baseball from that angle.
Yeah, you're not. And to have success off a guy like Simber, you know, through experience, he's a guy that as a righty, you got to get the ball, you know, middle end part of the plate. You got to get the ball on you because everything's going away from you when he gets a slider going. But never fun facing guys like this.
Joey Gallo pinch hitting for Higashioka, takes a pitch out of zone 1-0. Aaron Boone said before the game, Gallo a little banged up. He was not in the starting lineup, but pinch hitting here. Driven deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
Well, I wanted to hear the crowd, but I saw the body language of Joey, and he knew it wasn't going to stay fair. He got around the ball, and you have a tendency to do this against sidearmers. You kind of dive out there, and you try to steer it, but it just doesn't quite work. So, Michael, I'm going to go into the win probabilities now because now we're into numbers. And before the Yankees got a hit, all right, their win probabilities, see this ball way inside. Thank goodness it didn't hit. just saying, Michael, you know.
I hear you.
But going in without a hit till DJ LeMahieu, their win probability was 14%. Then it went to 20 after he got a hit. But then after Stanton got his home run, it went all the way up to 54%, and now we're almost at 60% with the bullpen. So things are getting better for the Yankees by the minute.
And you're right, it's because the Yankee bullpen has outperformed the Blue Jay bullpen, so they have the higher percentage. Tim Meza is up for the Blue Jays. One of two lefties in the Toronto bullpen. And Gallo comes in and a pinch hit walk.
That's a really good at-bat by Joey Gallo coming off the bench, facing a guy like Sember. Took some pretty good swings there, not able to keep any of them in play, but, you know, definitely a quality at-bat by Joey Gallo, and the Yankees got to love that. I want to see what that win percentage is now, Paul.
I know one thing. If you had LeCastro, you could get a base stealer in there in a heartbeat. We talked about how cool it was to be able to put him in. Now with the injury, Aaron Boone a little different at pinch running.
Well, the only guy that he would have that could pinch run would be Marwin Gonzalez. Now, if you do that, you've used your whole bench on that one move. Gallo pinch hitting for Higashioka. There's 3 Yankees on the bench tonight: Gallo, Trevino, and Gonzalez. There's a strike. High fly ball, right center. And Springer makes the play. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Hey, Cam, I'm going to give you a little advice now. You know that? Don't ever steal that note right there and read it, because I did it one time and Michael didn't talk to me for a week. That is his thing right there.
I haven't learned my lesson, but I learned to pass that thing right over already.
That's right.
As Judge flies out, let me let you in a little secret, Cam. I was looking for an excuse not to talk to him.
All right. I'll be back with some ammo.
Hey, Yankee fans, is there a hero in your life who hits it out of the park? Well, Hyundai wants to award a hero with a 2022 Hyundai Tucson. To nominate your hero, visit HyundaiSaluteTheHeroesNY.com and tell us why they should win. You go to the 8th inning. Guerrero leads off. Pitches up and away from Loaizaga. Guerrero, Hernandez, and Gurriel. Jose Trevino takes over behind the plate.
Michael, I was going to nominate you until those rude comments for the inning. Now I rethought things.
You prodded me. One and one. Chad Green has been up, so he's hot, ready to go. strike. Cam, have you noticed that Hernandez and Springer don't seem like they want to give way? I mean, isn't that Springer's ball all the way?
Yeah, the communication has been a little off between the two, but, the wind, too. The wind's, kind of bringing the ball back to right field. I mean, Hernandez doing a good job of staying with it, not giving up on it all the way, but, it's not easy out there. We've seen some wind this trip and some indecisiveness, even on the last ball. I mean, they are really having a tough time communicating throughout the game, but you see the flag swirling, and it's kind of been like that this whole homestand. Weather and breeze blowing balls around. You see some balls hit pretty hard that haven't went out the park, so they definitely having their struggles today.
See, Cam, when Paul was here, never had that problem. He had that little patch of grass that was brown that he would practice swinging, and if it was hit to the right of that, Bernie had it.
Yeah, Paul probably used to give Bernie the same treatment Carlos Quentin used to tell me as, Cam, I got everything towards the line and you got everything else. It's a conversation. That's the whole outfield, man. What do you want me to do?
And Guerrero works a leadoff walk here in the 8th. And Aaron Boone will call on Green. So Loaizaga worked a scoreless 7. Walks Guerrero to start the 8th. Now walks to the dugout, and Green comes on to face Hernandez. Powered by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. It'll be the 11th game for Chad Green. 1 save and 3 opportunities. About a strikeout per inning, 4 walks with a 3.48 ERA. So here's Hernandez. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Guerrero at first, held there by Rizzo. Curveball is high, way high. 1-0. Again, Trevino behind the plate as they pinch hit for Higashioka.
If you're Aaron Boone, there's a few reasons why you would make a pitching change. One of them is because you like the matchup better, or one of them is, it's kind of an eye test. And I think that You know, Loizaga, you'd love him in that situation, a ground ball, heavy sinker, but he was not able to really get the ball down in the strike zone, a little erratic. So Aaron Boone made his mind up, and it's never a bad thing to bring Chad Green in. He's been very successful, but just made his mind up that, you know what, a good Chad Green is better right now than Loizaga, struggling a little bit tonight to get his sinker down and in on righties.
2-2.
Yeah, Greeny hasn't allowed a hit in his last 3 outings. So, like you said, always a reliable guy to go to. He's going to throw strikes. He's going to pound the zone and make guys swing the bats.
The 2-2. Strike 3. Hernandez knew it. He's down looking.
Chad Green threw enough breaking balls in that count to get away with that good four-seam fastball, usually up in the strike zone. He drove that one down knee high. Strike 3 to Hernandez. A big out for the Yankees.
And that's the maturation process of Chad Green. When he first entered the league, I remember facing him, and it was almost like you could just sell out on the heater, whether it was a 0-0 count, a 1-2 count. You knew he had a lot of confidence in his heater. But like you said, throwing those breaking balls early, showing those breaking balls multiple times in a row, really allows his fastball to play up even more. And again, especially that low heater that looks like it's down out of the hand and just continues to ride for a strike at the bottom.
Gurriel, 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch, stole a bag. One and one. One and two. Toronto with 6 hits, Yankees with 3. Toronto scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Yankees came back with 3 in the sixth on one swing, a 3-run home run by Stanton. Line drive, it's a base hit. Cutting over is Hicks. He'll get the ball before it goes to the wall. Here comes Guerrero. Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. He's safe. Ball got away from Trevino, and moving to third, Gurriel, as the Blue Jays lead 4-3.
Well, very surprising that Guerrero was able to score on this ball. Didn't get to the wall. And a good throw, I think, has him. High fastball, second time in the count that he stayed on top of it. But Hicks gets to the ball, gets rid of it. Gives kind of Falefa an opportunity, but you see the ball on the first base side. I think a good throw has him.
It's a really good job of Vladimir Guerrero getting a great secondary and realizing off the bat, he's thinking, I'm scoring for my friend. And again, in better shape, running extremely well, hustling around the bases from first base to score for the Blue Jays. And you can see the excitement from Vlad Jr.
Infield in, Kirk at the plate. 1-0. This could be a play at the plate. Judge makes the catch. Tagging is Gurriel. Here's the throw. It's up the third base line. Gurriel scores on the sac fly by Kirk, and it's 5-3 Toronto.
We look at two quick runs, and both of them because of good base running. Guerrero scoring from first, and Gurriel getting a good read that there was going to be at the plate, so he could circle second and get all the way to third, where a fly ball scores him. Now the Yankees look up at a 2-run deficit.
We talked about the little things yesterday and before the game, that hustle, just playing the game the right way, respecting the game, and you see good things happen for the Blue Jays.
Cam, I'm wondering, on the double by Gurriel, do you like the way Hicks played the ball?
You know, as an outfielder, I'm thinking right here as he gets it, that little pump, that can be the difference between having to make a perfect throw and a throw that's, just a little bit off. But I think right here you got to pick it up and get it in. That little pump can be the determining factor of, that place being bang, bang or getting it out at home. Ideally, you want to, get that on the backhand plant and throw all one motion. But again, Aaron Hicks not familiar out of left field, so some things that take some getting used to for any good outfielder, whether you're switching the position or where you are comfortably on the field.
One and two. Luis Rivera waving him home, making a run with him. And Guerrero gets in.
Luis Rivera almost scored with him. Luis Rivera, I played with him over in Puerto Rico a lot of years ago.
Swing and a miss. Chapman down on strikes, but the Blue Jays scored 2 runs on 1 hit and a sac fly. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays up by 2. T-Mobile coverage can. Stadium looks great on a beautiful Tuesday evening in the Bronx. Had a pretty good game where the Blue Jays have retaken the lead. They led 3-0, and then the Yankees tied it on the Stanton 3-run home run. And then 2 runs in the 8th inning off of Loizaga and Green. And the Hyundai scoreboard shows you 5-7-0 for Toronto, 3-3-0 for the Yankees. Teoscar Hernandez moves over to left. Zimmer in center. And Springer moves to right. Tim Mesa comes on. Lefty, this will be his 13th game, and he's going to face Rizzo, Stanton, and Donaldson. Mesa throws strikes. 5th big league season. He's 30 years old. And he throws a first pitch strike. Pat Henkin told him in the minors, get ahead, get out of the middle, throw strikes. That one's chopped slowly. Charging is Bichette. 1 away here in the 8th. And here is Giancarlo Stanton. We'll take a look at the exit velocity on his home run, presented by Spectrum Mobile. Go to SpectrumMobile.com today. 105.1 off the bat. Just over the wall, just inside the foul pole. Good for game-tying 3-run home run. One 1-0. 5-3 Toronto. 7 hits for the Blue Jays, 3 for the Yanks. All 3 Yankee hits came in that 3-run 6th inning. They've otherwise been shut down. They've had 4 walks, but just 3 hits in that inning. Wandy Peralta up for the Yanks. Lined into center field. It's a base hit. Oh, he hit that hard. Wow. Zimmer gets the ball in.
I need a little extra velocity on that one because that ball was smoked right up the middle.
118 off the bat. I mean, wow. It's not too many guys that hit the ball harder than Giancarlo Stanton. And when he's in the middle of the field, hitting homers to right field, good things usually coming for Big G. And you can just hear the sound off his bat. Totally different from anybody else in this league.
You'd be hard-pressed to convince me that that did not dent that ball.
I used to tell him, I used to say, why do you hit the baseballs like you're mad at him? He hits the baseballs like he's angry at the baseball.
Here's Donaldson. One 1-0. Chopped slowly to third. Chapman goes to second one, and that's all they get. And that'll bring up Aaron Hicks. So unless Donaldson gets another at bat, he's walked, he was hit by a pitch, but he's 0 for 2, and that could spell the end of his 10-game hitting streak. Well, we have a list of the top 5 hardest hit baseballs of the season. Stanton has 3 of them. The first one and that one that you just saw was 4th. So it's Stanton 1, Ohtani 2, Stanton 3, Stanton 4, and Guerrero 5.
best deal in mobile. Get unlimited for only $29.99. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
2-0 count on Hicks. Runner at first. Hicks is a tying run here in the bottom of the 8th. Two one. Three and one. He's had a good season last year. Made the team out of spring training as a non-roster invite. Had Tommy John surgery, coming back from that. 3-1. And another walk for Hicks. That's his 18th of the year, and that puts the tying runs on base.
Well, the Blue Jays are trying to figure out any way to get through this inning to get to Romano, because their closer's very good, leading MLB in saves, and we're going to go back to the bullpen just to try to get another out to get to him.
Well, Gleyber Torres is coming up. Donaldson's at second. Hicks is at first. Schneider, the acting manager, is going to call on Richards. Stay right here. Saturday night on the Yes app, catch the next NYCFC match as the champs look to stay undefeated on their 5-game homestand when they take on the Columbus Crew. Coverage presented by Ford starts Saturday at 6:30 on the Yes app. You walk through gate 6, you come into the ballpark, and you see Trevor Richards on the mound. He'll pitch in his 13th game. They're trying to piece it together, as Paul said, till they could get to Romano for the 9th inning. Romano with 12 saves leads Major League Baseball. So it'll be Richards against Torres, who steps into the batter's box as the go-ahead run.
These are the at-bats that you really, as a hitter, have to fight the tendency to want to do too much. Everybody in the park wants a 3-run homer. Everybody in the dugout, but you can't go to an at-bat trying to do that because not every pitch can be hit out of the ballpark.
Way outside. Now they're somewhat shallow in center and in right, Zimmer and Springer. And Romano's getting ready right now, so you could poke one through the outfielders if you hit it hard enough in right center. Hernandez is somewhat normal depth in left. But Torres still waiting for a strike. It's 2-0.
And this is one of those at-bats where Gleyber Torres, as Paul just stated, really needs to just stay with his approach, not do too much. Richards, a guy who really works off his four-seamer and his changeup. Opponents 2 for 18, 8 Ks against that changeup. So the pitch he really likes to get to.
Fouled away. Three red lights in that outfield. Three good arms. Zimmer rated the best one. 2-1. 2-2. Falefa is on deck. Boone has one move left on his bench, and that's Marwin Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Torres down on strikes. So Richards fell behind 2-0 and recovered to the next three strikes and strike out Gleyber Torres as the Yankees strand two. They take on the Indiana Fever from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Led by last year's star core and a group of exciting new players, the Liberty are ready to compete for the WNBA crown. Coverage starts Friday at 8 on YES and streaming on the YES app. It's the first of 27 Liberty games this season on YES and the YES app. Wandy Peralta will come on to pitch the ninth inning. So the Yankees have used 4 relievers after Severino gave them 4 2/3 innings. It'll be Espinal, Collins, and Springer. So that's a sleeve that he wears on his arm and takes it off when he comes into the game. So Barrett wants to check it out. It was in his back pocket.
You know, most pitchers, as they warm up in the bullpen, they usually put one of those sleeves on to make sure they keep their arms warm. And Peralta's a guy who just usually comes in and sticks his in his back pocket as he does his warm-ups.
A strike to Espinal. One and one.
A little quick pitch right there, Peralta. Kind of a slide step that'll get you. The only problem is you got to throw for a strike because you fooled the hitter.
Fly ball, shallow center, coming on Judge. He makes the play, one away. Stream Yankees baseball on the Yes app, presented by T-Mobile. So here's Collins, his first at bat. Oh and 1. Well, Romano leads Major League Baseball with 12 saves. Close out the one win that the Blue Jays had in Toronto against the Yankees. And down goes Collins looking. 2 away.
Wandy taking the page out of Nestor's book, mixing up deliveries, keeping hitters off balance. I wonder how often they talk about mechanics and pitching with each other. Very similar, guys doing things to keep hitters off balance.
One 1-0 on Springer. He started the game with a home run against Severino. 2-0. And George Springer is 2 for 4. Three and 0 on Springer. Turned him loose on 3-0. Swing and a miss. 3-1. Threw him a changeup on 3-0.
I was just going to say, you don't see that very often. 3-0 changeup.
That's doing your scouting report right there.
3-2. And he works his walk. So here's Bo Bichette. And 1 on Bichette. Bichette 1 for 3 with a walk. Last time up, wrapped into a double play. That was against Loizaga. Right now, Loizaga is the pitcher of record. He walked Guerrero to start the 8th and was relieved, and Guerrero came around to score the 4th run. On the double by Gurriel against Green, and then the sac fly scored Gurriel from 3rd. Off the bat of Kirk, also against Green. The 0-2. Fly ball, right field. Stanton's there, makes the play, and that will do it. So Jordan Romano, the closer, is coming on. He's going to try to nail this down. First up, Kind of Falefa. Then you've got Trevino batting second, then back to the top of the order, and DJ LeMahieu. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Well, keep it right here on Yes after the final out, as our studio team will have highlights, analysis, and complete player reaction from tonight's game, plus Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. The Yankees will try to solve Jordan Romano. 15 strikeouts in 13 and a third innings pitched, just 3 walks. He's blown 1 save, so 12 out of 13. We told you his 12, though, leads the majors. Now, the Yankees have a little bit of an interesting decision to make. I told you that IKF leads off, and after that, it's Trevino. And they do have Marwin Gonzalez on the bench. So would they pinch hit Marwin Gonzalez, and then, if you tie the game and have to go into extra innings, then it would necessitate having Kiner-Falefa catch for the first time, and then Gonzalez could play shortstop. But we'll see what Boone does. Maybe he stays with Trevino.
It's funny, Michael. I was thinking the same thing, but to put him as an emergency catcher, it's a pretty big risk for your starting shortstop. But also, you don't have Gallo left, a guy that could possibly tie the game up with a runner on, tie the game up with 1 swing. But I don't know. Has Boone been posed that question if they would use him?
I think he is considered the emergency catcher, Paul, because he has caught before when he was with Texas, so it wouldn't be like going behind their blind. He's caught a lot. But he has to get on to make it even a point of conversation. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and they do have Trevino on deck. Crowd of 41,522 on this Tuesday night in the Bronx.
You look at Romano, he is a 2-pitch pitcher. So that's it. But the only problem is they're both good. I mean, he's got a good slider and a 97 to 98 mile an hour fastball.
Now the key is to get somebody on base against him. And the last game in Toronto, they had LeCastro pinch run at first base. And a lot of people think, well, in retrospect, he didn't go to second because of the lat injury. But Aaron Boone said that wasn't the case. Romano's usually very slow to the plate, but he was really, really vigilant about holding LeCastro on and quickening his delivery. And I say it's key to get a runner on, as they don't there, because Boone said by quickening his delivery, some of our guys got hits off him because the stuff wasn't as electric, but they were concerned about LeCastro as a tying run.
Yeah, whenever you get speed on the bases, and I've been in that position, a lot of times you get over there and they know you have speed, and sometimes you just want to be a distraction. You just want to be a decoy, because when guys start to worry about you on base, you see a lot of mistakes made, and it gives the guy behind you opportunity, to get a knock or do something big. So traffic is always good against any relievers in the game.
Here's Trevino, 1-0. Romano was the American League reliever of the month for April with 10 saves. And Josh Hader won that award in the National League. (2-0).
His 10 saves in April were the fastest in franchise history to get to 10 saves in that first month. And a lot of his success comes off of that four-seamer at the top of the zone. He's a horizontal and a vertical pitcher, so he really works top and bottom well.
Well, he had Trevino bailing on that slider, drops in for a strike, 2-1.
That's a good take by Trevino, though. You got a guy that comes in, throws a couple balls. You can turn the lineup over. DJ LeMahieu on deck. If somehow you can work a walk, anything, make him throw some pitches.
Swings at a slider that ended up out of the zone, 2-2. And there is LeMahieu.
I mean, the action on that pitch is absolutely filthy. It comes out of his hand and presents itself like a hitter and then absolutely disappears.
So Trevino's worked the count to 3-2.
This is a tough place to be if you're Trevino, because every time he's gotten a position behind in the count, he's gone to his slider. Which, you know, you have to look fastball when a guy throws 97, 98.
Pitch upstairs, so Trevino works a walk. That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
He did go back to the slider, and that's a great at bat for Trevino, knowing that, you know, his only job is to somehow get on first base. Turn this lineup over. You got DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Judge on deck. So now you've got an opportunity with one swing of the bat to tie this game up.
Now, there's no concern for Romano about Trevino at first, so he's not going to quicken his delivery and take anything off for LeMahieu.
You can even see Vladimir Guerrero with a modified hole, not really worrying about the speed of Trevino as well.
That slider just missed the inside corner, so 1-0 on DJ LeMahieu. This with the fastball, 2-0, and now Collins wants to talk with Romano.
You taking here, Cam, 2-0. Guy struggling a little bit. Aaron Judge on deck.
You said it last night, you know, the way we came up, the way that I came up as well. Anytime late in the ball game, down 3 runs or fewer, you know, this run really doesn't matter. You want to get that guy up to bat, you know, that's behind you on deck. So for me, you know, walking the guy, falling behind early, you know, you want to look as hitterish as possible, but with the intent to take all the way and make him throw some strikes.
The 2-0. That one just clipped the outside corner, 2-1.
And as you alluded, Paul, that's one of those where you're okay with taking that pitch. That's not what you're looking for if you're DJ LeMahieu. You know, 2-0 count, you're looking for something middle. You're really keyholing, looking for your pitch, so you're okay with taking that strike.
Almost hit him, 3-1.
This is where the wheels really start turning as a hitter. I mean, do I take another pitch, or do I look slider? Do I look fastball? He's had trouble. He has not seen a good strike in this at bat.
There's ball 4, and that's going to bring up Judge. Romano usually has pretty good control, so 2 walks, a little unusual.
Up next for the Yankees, the center fielder, number 99, Aaron Judge. Number 99.
And a trip to the mound.
Now, Paul, this is a dilemma I used to struggle with right here. A mound visit, a guy struggling to throw strikes. Now, it's Aaron Judge. What is your thought process? Usually, you know, you go out there, they have that mound visit, and can't tell you how many times the guy comes back with a first pitch strike. You know, so it's what are you thinking here if you're Aaron Judge?
Well, Aaron Judge is in this lineup for a reason, and that's to put the ball in the seats in big at-bats like this. So he has to be aggressive, and as long as that meeting went on the mound, that to me was more about how are we going to go about getting Aaron Judge out. So this is more of a scouting report visit than anything.
First and second, 1 man out. Here's Judge. Drop the slider in there for a strike. 0-1. Trevino at second. LeMahieu is at first. Aaron Judge at the plate. Oh, 0-2.
Well, that's the pitch right there. Aaron Judge coming into this at bat. You got to figure you're going to see a slider. And a lot of his good sliders are off the outside corner. This ball, look, middle. A pretty good pitch to hit.
Judge, infield single. He's 1 for 4. One and two. This place would be up for grabs if he hits the long ball. Sky the other way, foul.
You know what? That pitch actually kind of cleared Aaron Judge's head. He saw 3 consecutive sliders, and then as a hitter, you're like, sooner or later, I've got to see a fastball. And he fouled off a pretty good pitch, and now you've seen both of them. Not that it is going to guarantee a hit, but at least you've seen both of the pitches now in this count.
Still 1 and 2. Well, Aaron has 167 career home runs. He's never had a walk-off home run. That's the 5th most by an active player without a walk-off.
I think Romano is trying to get that slider off the plate away, and he's having trouble. He's kind of leaving it out over the middle of the plate.
Outfielders are deep. And the 1-2. Drill deep to left field. There it goes! See ya! Up for grabs! There's his walk-off home run, and the Yankees have come back to win it. 6-5. Oh man, what a blast by Judge.
I'll tell you what, Michael, some wins are just more fun than others, and Aaron Judge going deep. His 10th of the year. I tell you what, this game got a little chippy, but this was a fun game to watch, a fun game to just sit here and enjoy. You look at the pitch by pitch, and again, a slider right there. He could not get it away. Fouled off one there, went back to the slider out of the strike zone, and to me, this pitch changed the whole at bat. He saw the fastball, but he was not able to get the slider away, saw another one, and then finally hung one. And Michael lost the vocal cord.
Into the second deck. And he knew it when he hit it. The crowd knew it when he hit it. The Blue Jays knew it when he hit it. And he walks it off into the night as the Yankees beat the Blue Jays by a score of 6-5 in dramatic fashion here in the Bronx.
Tell you, some swings, some guys are just meant to hit home runs. Number 99 is one of them. This will be one that the Yankee fans and Aaron Judge will remember for a long time.
And there's Aaron Judge with Meredith Marakovits in front of the Yankee dugout.
Thanks, Michael. Aaron, you just said to me there was never a doubt. What gives this team so much confidence that you're going to find a way to get it done?
Wow, you know, there's never quitting this team, you know, especially playing here at Yankee Stadium with these fans, man. There's never a doubt, you know. We were chirping a little back and forth early on, and I think that kind of locked us in. You know, Kikuchi had our number for a while, but, you know, we just wanted to lock it in there at the end.
Can you describe the emotion you feel when you make contact in that moment and know that ball is going out?
I was a little nervous. I hit a couple balls good and they can't get out. But, I was just trying to put a good swing on it. The guys in front of me had great at-bats. They made my job easy, just trying to square one up.
Seems like you guys have been battling a little bit to start the season here with the Blue Jays. It looks like it will be a battle between you guys all season long. What makes that Blue Jays team so tough?
They're an impressive team. They got a great pitching staff. They got a great lineup. They can hit the ball out of the ballpark, at any time. It's fun. That's what we want to do. It's a good team to play against.
Is there a better feeling than a walk?
This has been a presentation of the Yes Network. Soaring into history. Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.
Off at Yankee Stadium.
This is pretty sweet right here.
Aaron, thanks for the time. Michael, we'll send it back to you.
Let's take a look at this home run, Cam.
Outstanding. One too many sliders. Aaron Judge doing what he gets paid to do well, and that's driving the ball out of the ballpark. A beautiful swing. Tons of elation from the Yankees dugout and the fans in this ballpark. Huge win, game one. Aaron Judge, the hero tonight. First walk-off homer. A big one for the Yankees.
Just look at the sheer joy on the Yankees' faces. This was a game that was hanging in the balance for a while, and Judge put it away and in the win column. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up. Judge the hero tonight as he walks it off.